Yo, what's going on everybody? Xanthos Vice here, and we are finally back with some more Punishing Gray Raven. I hope you guys are having a great day today. Yeah, we're finally back with Punishing Gray Raven pretty quickly, honestly. Like I said, I was gonna try to do more for Wolverine Prolong, but that's gonna have to wait, because we have the newest update to the main story. But yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't even know the update was gonna happen today, because yesterday, for those who caught the stream, you already know from earlier today, but didn't. I was initially trying to do Duet Night Abyss, did not know they were having an update, had to wait for that forever, and it still wasn't ready. I'm like, okay, let's do PGR. Nope, their update was currently still going on. I'm like, yeah, I figured. Because I knew about the Punishing Gray Raven update, I did not know about the DNA update. But anyway, that's besides the point. Where we last left off with the main story, we had finally gone through the Liv Limpidity arc, and it was pretty good, you know? Going through a bit of like Liv's memories, going through a whole new threat, and supposedly Wheel of Fortune, who's from the Church of Machina, seems to be planning stuff behind the scenes. And Babylon is now once again another crisis of plummeting to Earth again. Who would have thought, right? People just don't get tired of trying to make us fall onto the planet. But again, it's like, why is it like that? Again, I guess it just goes back to like how the Church of Machina isn't completely united, right? Because it's like, it's kind of like Ouroboros from the Trail series, but it's like a good number of them actually do like Nanami and are at least trying to give a chance to work together with humans. But again, not all of them feel the same way. But anyway, I'll be interested to see how it all kind of ties in together, right? Because, like I said, from the trailers and the teasers of what Teddy's thing was going to be, it kind of made it seem like something completely separate. It didn't make it seem like it was connected to the instance of how the last chapter ended. So I'm going to be interested to see how they tried to do that. And what perspective this is going to be. And it's like, will we actually get to see who Wheel of Fortune actually is or not? So yeah, without further ado, we're going to check that. But first, I'm supposed to check here for... Oh, these are the service missions. Okay. Trial Prototype 500... Oh, so this is the stuff that Garnier was telling me about. Right, yeah, because I got Teddy's weapon already. Wherever I can get all of these, that's going to be the challenge. Oh, I only get a limit? Bro. Well, then again, I guess better this than to, what is it? Waste it on a weapon, so I'm honestly fine with that. Let's see, 50 times 40. That would be... 2,000? Is my math right? No, it would have to be, right? I'm not being stupid, am I? I'm gonna check on the calculator because... Okay, no, 2,000. Okay, so as long as I use everything else on just getting the inverse shards for Teddy, it'll work out. Hopefully. Oh, okay, no, yeah, it's literally just the perfect amount to get everything here. Well, that's good. And again, glad that she is an ice amplifier, because I really did need that. But before we go into main story, we are actually going to check out how Teddy actually plays. Yeah, so let's go to the tutorial stage first and see exactly what we're dealing with. Because again, I would love a new ice amp. Don't get me wrong, Isla Collider is good, but I just always end up using a Chushukra and Wanshi's instead. So let's see. When switching Teddy into battle, a yellow neon orb will be activated. Tap it to cast Deafening Blast. Oh wow, okay. Wait, let me lower the volume a bit. Yeah, there we go. Then to deploy Data Domain and gain unlimited ground signal orbs. Now that's a new one. Signature energy is continuously consumed while in Data Domain. During this time, using neon orbs will heal and consume up to 1/3 of the remaining signature energy. Ah, okay. So tap. Oh, okay. So kind of similar to like what Ishmael's can kind of do, but just with shorter stacks. Okay. Well, relatively, not exactly like it, because I may be making a bad comparison, but at least that's how I view it. The color of used neon orb will be recorded to increase damage of Data Domain barrier. Oh, okay, okay. So yeah, this is supposed to fill up kind of like how Bianca's sword thing is. Okay. Oh, okay, I can do it like this. Red, basic attack. Ooh, that's cool. Press and hold while activating blue neon orb. Then tap to cast Mega Distortion. When energy is depleted, the automatic cast. Oh, so it'll just automatically go to it. Okay, that's pretty cool. 2, 3. I want to actually practice it. 1, 2. Okay, now. Okay, there's that one. And now, just hold on to this. There we go. Okay, I have somewhat of an idea. Oh, it even showed KO there. That's pretty cool. I like how they're still keeping the techno vibes from the original Teddy frame. But again, they just enhanced it to where it's like, it's kind of the same, but just evolved. I like it. Because don't get me wrong, I like the complete turnarounds they do, like for Bianca's and with some of the other characters. But sometimes just a little elevation to what they already have can work. What about this one? It's gonna be about the effects, maybe? After 3 ping of white noise signal orbs, remaining white noise signal orbs will be pinged and the red neon orb will be activated. Tap to gain additional signature energy based on... Oh, so it just automatically does it? Or... Let's see. 1, 2, 3... No, I still have to press it. Okay. Oh, I see. That's the ice effect. It continues to consume during this time using neon will heal. Yeah, okay, we got that right. Oh, never mind. Yeah, just continuously tapping X. I'll just already pass through the red one. The color used neon orb will be recording. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately for that combo, I probably will have to press it too. Oh, and for blue I have to as well. Okay, so I have to tap that extra too. Okay. Alright, so not everything's automatic, which makes sense, because then otherwise you wouldn't really be playing a game. Alright, now the effect practice. When switching Teddy into battle, a yellow neon orb will be activated. When selecting Radiance effect, a second yellow orb will be activated during the end lag. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, there we go. Wait, that's it? That's how I activate it? Hold it. This? I mean, at least they make it easy to apply the effect. But then again, I guess it makes sense because she is, like, her main function is that of an amplifier. But alright, yeah, she's not hard to use. I never understand these comics. Like, what is it supposed to be? Is it like telling a story of it? Because I feel like I glimpsed through it, like, very, like, barely. So I don't know. Maybe it's actually worth looking into. But anyway, that's besides the point. Let's actually go ahead and check this out. Again, I was so surprised when I checked after the update that it actually is part of main story. I'm like, what? This is actually main story? I didn't think it would. But surprisingly, it is. Again, just because of the way they framed it. I'm not saying it shouldn't be, but just the way that they made it appear, didn't think so. Oh, right, yeah, also before, after we did the Limpidity arc, and before this one, we did, oh my god, this can sometimes be annoying. Not to see his rapture. God, please. Yeah, this is gonna take me a bit of getting used to have to maneuver through, but then again, I am using controller. I bet if I did like mouse and keyboard, it would have been a bit smoother, but just whatever. Alright, which one? Oh right, Crescent Sun, which was pretty good in my opinion. I really liked it. Again, a nice way to like, kind of like turn things and actually give us the scary vibe. Yeah, anyway, I think I've pushed it for a good amount of time. We can actually go ahead and continue with main story once and for all. And again, I'll be interested to see how they're gonna frame it at the very start of this. Right, Fate of the Hacker. A pool of deep glistening vital fluid soaks through pink synthetic hair. That young girl Christina lies broken and motionless. Or is it that maybe this is taking place around the time of limpidity? Or before that? I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to tell when this is supposed to take place. Because the timeline makes it seem like it's after, but right now we should have been on a one-way course to crashing onto Earth, but that doesn't seem to be the case then. Whatever. Also, where is this place? There shouldn't be cars and stuff driving by in the real world. It has to be some kind of simulation or something, right? I refuse to believe that this is actually planet Earth, considering we've seen how desolate it's been for a while. Morning, Teddy. Look tired. Want me to get you a coffee? Wait, what? Karnina, why the hell are you in your idle frame? I mean, I'm not complaining. Okay, what the hell is this? Kuroro, Orange Vitamin C Americano, David Jack, Great Boss, Special Brew. Let's go with the first one. Kuroro, Orange Vitamin C Americano. Doubt it makes any difference which one I get, but sure. Everyone gone food crazy. Snapping is so delicious. I absolutely love eating them. Oh wait, no, there's no way this is Babylonia, right? Or maybe this is just on her way to work in Babylonia. Because to be fair, we haven't actually had a chance to walk around Babylonia, like, ever. Which reminds me, I still have to do a thing where it's like I wander around the actual Babylonia ship or station, whatever it is, because they had that available, but I never actually checked it out. Maybe I will have to do a stream for that separately. But man, can you guys also believe it? This is my 100th stream of PGR. I actually cannot believe this. Because again, it's like, I figured it would be like, maybe in Star Rail, like when we get to year 4 or 5, that I would reach 100. I didn't think with PGR I'd get this invested. That's like, I've done it so many times. And also it's like, it's not like I'm carelessly making videos where it's like, it's only 30 minutes of a part of a chapter for the story. It's like, no, I'm actually like doing a good portion of the chapters per stream to then progress it this far. Because I see a lot of people like shorten it to like 30 minutes of whatnot of like an actual chapter, whether it be in like trails and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, it's one thing if you're doing it for like, you make it like an hour or an hour 30, because it's like, at least that's consumable. Y'all doing it for like 30 minutes just to extend it. It's like don't get me wrong, I see what they're trying to go for, because there are probably people who don't have as much like grasp of attention to stay there for like all the hours like what I do, because I'm not gonna say mine's is a good amount of time either. Like sometimes I do like 3, 4 hours or 6 hours of streams, and those are pretty long, but it's like if you're invested, you'll at least take the time to at least check a good portion of it out. I'm just saying. And again, I'm not wasting time by being like, oh, we're just gonna make more and more and just delay it forever, right? Because again, I'm just very invested and interested in the series. It's become one of my favorites. Is that some mercy? I haven't eaten in days. Great. More filthy outsiders coming to Elysium to beg. Wait, Elysium? What the hell is this? Okay. Was this all in Teddy's imagination? Oh, I had to wait to cross the street? Hey, what the hell is with all the graffiti? Am I supposed to press something? Oh wait, I can actually cross? Wait, can I? Because at this rate I'm not going anywhere. Yo, what do you mean? Let me through. Are you serious? Oh, now I can. Yeah, let's check this out. Okay, I can't read it. Great. Not too surprising, though. Yeah, what's all the security here all of a sudden? I was like, if they're a criminal inside, they're trying to keep him trapped. Who's this? Manu. Okay. Morning, Tina. What, does she actually know Teddy's real name? Complete. Wait, really? There's only one true heroism in the world. To see the world as it is, and to love it. Roman Roland. Elysium, the cold steel jungle, a city of near perpetual night. High above the bustling streets, a virtual model beams from a massive holographic billboard. A tireless smile hovering as her high heels seemingly stride through the dense crowd below. Neon lights from countless billboards twist through a haze of smoke and steam, painting the skyscraper facades in electric color. Then, the night rain arrives right on schedule. An old friend tasked with blurring the smog into a streaky watercolor. From her usual high vantage point, the purple-haired woman gazes down at the metropolis. A line from an old novel surfaces in her mind. Sky above the port was a colored television, tuned to a dead channel. She glances toward the distant harbor, where pinpoints of light struggle to pierce the oppressive gloom. Not even close. In her earpiece, the police channel buzzes with relentless dispatch codes. Incident 2077, we have a call about anomalous sounds from apartment 703 at 442 Arclight Avenue. Sector 94, respond and navigate. 12A94 copies, en route to 2077. All units to stand by. 12A94 is responding to incident 2077. 12A94 on scene at apartment 703. Knocked. No answer. I got visual on blood under the door. Requesting emergency entry. Copy that. Please upload photos and video footage on the scene. This is 12A94. Cleared for entry. Breaching now. 12A94. Acknowledge. What's the status of incident 2077? 12A94. Code 1. Do you copy? 12A94 copies. Code 2H. Confirming one civilian casualty. I repeat, one civilian casualty. This is EDO3, the Unwinged. Intel received. I'm inbound. 12A94, lock down the perimeter. Do not contaminate the scene. A moment of silence falls over the radio channel. Patrol Officer Johnny huddles under the scant shelter of a dripping eave, waiting for the visitor's arrival. Moments later, an anti-grav car that belongs to the Department of Public Safety descends before 442 Arclight Avenue. Door sides open, a black umbrella unfurls against the curtain of rain as the Unwinged steps up. Johnny meets the lavender-haired woman on the pavement, Rain immediately plastering his hair to his forehead. Hey, I'm Patrol Officer Johnny from the 12th Patrol Division. Patter rained a relentless drone of the nearby billboards while his words blowing his form into the neon-smeared backdrop. Ahem. Unit designation 12894. Partners upstairs securing the scene. Honestly, it's a real relief you're here, Inspector. But no. He turned his flat, polished stone, leaving no room for pleasantries he was attempting. Right. This way, Inspector Minot. And yes, no, I know, I could probably be pronouncing it wrong, because I don't know French, or whatever language that is. But just bear with me, okay? Any urge for small talk you might have had is now gone. The elevator shutters to a halt on the 7th floor. Likely to keep residents in good spirits, the management had installed these relentlessly cheerful cartoon jingles. Stark, almost cruel contrast to the scene awaiting them. Now steps out, her eyes immediately tracking the door numbers down the hall. $7:30, $7:29. Numbers are running backward. She pivots, heading towards 7:03. Give me the sit rep. The caller is Alan Blake, male, 42, that was alone at 7:04. City called us after hearing some unusual noises from next door. What time did he hear them? 7:15, 7:14. When was the call log? Let me check. It was 8:12 p.m. Your ATA? We were on the scene by 8:18. Time of death? Fumbles wringing his hands. With all due respect, ma'am, we're patrol. We don't have the training for that. Best guess is it was very recent. 7:06, 7:05. Victim's ID? His face contorts and masks fresh discomfort. What is it? The victim's name is Christina. She's a construct. No scanning gaze halts at 7:03. Pass over the flickering yellow holographic tape and locks onto the floor inside the open doorway. The pool of deep, glistening vital fluid soaks through pink synthetic hair. The young girl Christina lies broken motionless. You've got to be kidding me. Right, because that's what the confusing thing was. Like, supposedly it was Teddy. The night rain bleeds neon through the haze, swallowing the city hall. Inside apartment 703 at 442 Arclight Avenue, forensic investigator snaps off her gloves. Time of examination 9:03 p.m. Estimated time of death is between 7:20 p.m. and 7:50 p.m. The victim. A forensic investigator looks up. Minot, the department star agent, stands with her arms crossed. Attention clearly elsewhere, she checks the timer at the terminal. Hasn't heard a word. She understands the distraction. In fact, every officer at the scene is watching Minot. Their attention taut. They all know who Minot's partner is. A loud commotion echoes from the hallway, murmurs of surprise at the sound of officers greeting someone. Inspector, right this way. Every officer holds their breath, attention fixed on the doorway where Minot's partner, the victim's spectral double in hair color, is about to appear. The sound of approaching footsteps, Minot steps forward. I wasn't aware you had another sister. Teddy. Wait, what? Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So this is actually a thing. Sorry about that. Had to answer the door. The city's lower intestine, roll away from the gleaming lights and the glass facades above. Here, the only spectacle is a murky effluent of urban waste. Rust, decay, and things better left unnamed stew together in a witch's cauldron, bringing a stench that doesn't just assault the nostrils, but seeps into the soul. What is that? Oh no, Elliot's gonna kill me. Okay, don't panic. A bouquet and a home-cooked meal. That's the price for ruining her floor. She'll forgive me. Right. Mission first. Focus more. Inspector Moore of the Crime Investigation Bureau dismisses the unidentified filth beneath his shoe. His attention already returned to the scene. The sewer system under the docks is such a maze. So this is where our tax money's really going. It's easy to get turned around down here even for me. Regular person wouldn't stand a chance. Jack, oh Jack. How would you think you'd come to a place like this? Missing person case flashes back into Moore's mind. Ties his jaw and hardens his gaze. Once been working on a case of a man named Jack, missing for over 48 hours. Painstaking review of surveillance footage traced Jack's last known movements to the docks, where the trail went cold again. Hey, have any of you seen this man? Jack, brown hair, 5'8", and around 155 pounds? Nope, don't know him. Probably jumped into the drink. Folks are fragile these days. One bad day and they give up. Hold on, I might have seen him. Really? Tell me what you saw. Yesterday, during dinner, I saw a guy in the distance. Looked like he was hunting for something. Pretty sure he ducked into the sewer access over there. Can't swear it was your guy, though. Only saw his back. But what? You know something, tell me. Well, it's not really a lead, but there's been some weird noises coming from down there lately. What kind of noises? Like machinery. A few of the guys said they've seen weird-looking mechanoids skulking around. Ones with a red glow. My guess? It's just some company testing new gear. See how it holds up in the muck. After interviewing the dock workers, Moore entered the sewers to begin his search. There you are. Moore crouches, his eyes kind through the filth and lock onto a single clear footprint. Follows the trail of scattered impressions, his own form swallowed by the oppressive gloom of the sewers. Someone's here. Quickly drops into a low crouch, his footsteps going silent. He presses against the damp wall, carefully leaning to peer around a corner. There he sees them, the mechanoids the dock worker mentioned. And besides them, Jack, sprawled motionless on the ground, long past his last breath. Then in the darkness, a dozen visual sensors bloom with malevolent red light, all turning toward him in unison. I'm so confused. Again, I feel like this should be a floating record. This doesn't really feel to me like it's main story. Unless it's gonna start getting into main story later, but I'm really not seeing how that's supposed to work. Room 703. So the victim's name is Christina. Yeah. Creepy, isn't it? Just a name. You know that's not what I mean. She looks way too much like you. A coincidence, obviously. No shakes her head, letting the subject die into heavy silence. Shall I continue? Based on our preliminary examination, the estimated time of death is between 7:30 p.m. and 7:50. The victim sustained multiple wounds, several showing signs of field treatment. The technique suggests self-administered care. The fatal injury is a single clean puncture from back to front, piercing the core, a precise and efficient strike. This wound is distinct from the others. Here, both her bionic dermis and internal mechanics showed thermal degradation. The forensic investigator passed over a photograph. This indicates the weapon had either a high-temperature blade or an energy edge. The remaining wounds are consistent with an attack from this mechanoid. reports that a mechanoid remain on the floor. These are projectile impacts, and these are lacerations from an integrated blade. Mechanoids are supposed to be non-hostile. The Elysian Mechanical Protection Act mandates prime directives against harming humans. This leads us to conclude. Teddy steps forward and kneels before Christina. Christina's office eyes stare back, face a mirror Teddy's own. For a moment, Teddy feels as if she's the one lying on the floor. Coldness floods her body, her core no longer generating heat. Vital fluid draining from her frame, her vision blurs, doubles, and slowly dissolves into darkness. She's trapped here, unable to move. She witnesses it all. Patrol officers knocking, breaching the door, establishing a perimeter of police tape. She fears the forensic investigator inspecting her wounds, taking photographs. I am dead, Christina. Wait here quietly for Christina to come. An overwhelming sense of absurdity floods her. In an infinitesimal moment, the entire world feels like a fabrication. What were you looking at, Christina? Teddy. I mean, she was looking at Teddy. That joke is in seriously poor taste, Manel. Manel points behind Teddy. Only then does she notice the teddy bear is sitting on the table behind her. She steps forward, picking up the stuffed bear to examine it. Just an ordinary teddy bear. Teddy, what a weird ID. It's not weird at all. Fine, you win. It's not that bad. What's the problem? It's nothing. Just a headache. Do you check the building surveillance? The time of death was recent. The killer can't have gone far. Latest footage should show something. I did a quick review. No anomalies. What's your take on that mechanoid? It's a Guardian 3, a civilian-grade auto security unit manufactured to Rokubishi Electric. They're usually bought in bulk by corporations, supposedly armed with non-lethal deterrents only. Non-lethal. Pizmano's words are dripping sarcasm. Two possibilities. One, someone rewrote its core directives. It would take a real expert to manage that. The second is a fundamental design flaw that made it malfunction and attack autonomously. We're paying Rokubishi Electric a visit. Judging by the scene, there was more than one mechanoid here. He surveys the chaotic disarray of the apartment. Yes, at least two. She responds to Teddy. Mano connects her hacking module to Christina's computer. I'll access her terminal and see if I can find any leads. Alright, I'll question the neighbors. Sorry they sound the same. I'm just trying to do like a cool vibe for them. Teddy knocks on the door of apartment 704. Officer? Hello, I'm Inspector Teddy, Elysium Crime Investigation Bureau, badge number ED08. I have some questions about the incident. You're the one who called in, correct? Yeah. Can you describe exactly what you heard? Well, I was eating when I heard someone fighting next door. At first I thought it was an action movie. Then the walls shook. That's when I knew it was a real fight. I was too scared to do anything. Do you recall the exact time this happened? I checked the clock. It's stuck in my head. 7:23 p.m. Then I heard glass breaking, so I looked out. And what did you see? There was this thing. A shadow like a monster, glowing red. Then it just vanished. I thought I was seeing things. After that, everything went quiet. That was around 7:35. Our log shows your call came in at 8:12. You waited quite a while. You explained the delay. I didn't want any trouble. I wasn't gonna call at all, but that thing. I couldn't get that shadow out of my head. The more I thought about it, the more it terrified me, so I finally called. I guess maybe thinking like there's a chance that they would have come back since they knew someone saw him. Hello, I'm Inspector Teddy, Police and Crime Investigation Bureau, badge number ED08. I have some questions about the incident. What happened? I was asleep. Wait, did someone die? I'm definitely using this to get my rent lowered. Didn't hear a thing. Don't know anything. Man's voice calls from inside the apartment. His cup explodes against the floor inside the apartment. The tired woman's veins bulge like cords across her forehead. Sorry. As you can see, I'm about to be a little preoccupied. I didn't hear anything because I was busy trading blows with him. Wow, okay. Oh, that girl. She kept odd hours. You know her? Not really. Didn't even catch her name. My own schedule's a mess because of work. He gestures toward the live streaming equipment in his room. I'm a streamer. You know how it is. Once a 43-hour marathon. Anyway, point is, a few times when I went out for food in the early morning, I'd run into her in the hall. Sometimes heading out, sometimes coming back. Always looked guarded. Oh, right. I think she was going to the docks. What makes you say that? I'm sensitive to smells. Allergies, you know? Once in the elevator, I caught the distinct scent of the sea on her. The specific kind you get only when going to the docks. She must have uncovered the truth about this world. Listen, this world isn't real. We are abducted by the Migo Yeti from the Centaurus constellation. Those fungal crabs are disguising themselves as humans living among us. We're all just brains in jars. You never know. For this game, anything's possible. Teddy rubs her temples in frustration, heading back to apartment 703. Got anything useful? Apparently this world isn't real. And we're all just brains in jars being experimented on by Migo Yeti. Oh, and these Yeti? They're apparently fungal crab things. What are you even talking about? Putting the cosmic horror aside, the victim kept irregular hours, went out frequently, and had ties to the docks. I found the same. Look at this mail. Dear Miss A Bear, Public Storage. Your storage unit... Why is storage spelled wrong? Title. Storage unit rental agreement is due to expire on the 30th this month. If you wish to continue using our storage facilities, please renew your subscription and settle the corresponding fees before the expiration date. If you decide to discontinue our service, please ensure all belongings are cleared from the unit by the expiration date and reply cancel to this message to unsubscribe. She renewed it. The facility is close to the docks. But why would she have to go to the docks, right? Because couldn't you renew it like with the email or respond to it? Or is it like it's a company email and not like an email from the person in charge of it? Because then maybe I guess you would have to go in person to actually renew it or to pay it. Oh no, that's what it's called. Public stowage. Okay. Vast 3-story building seems to stretch on forever. After questioning the facility manager, they learned that Christina's unit, registered under the name AAA Bear, is tucked away in a corner on the first floor. This is the place. Now steps forward, slides the manager's spare key into the lock, and with a sharp pull, halts the rattling door upon its tracks. Not even an electronic lock. Maybe that's precisely why Christina chose it. No digital trail. Storage unit yawns open, revealing the owner's private space. Dominating the wall is a long table with a cork bulletin board hanging above. The board is plastered with photographs of Elysium's buildings, all connected by an intricate web of red and yellow threads. The web's center is a picture of the central building. Sticking up beside it posed a single cryptic question: real or fake? On the table below, a data chip rests amid other scattered items. Apparently, the unit also serves as a sparse living quarters, furnished with a folding bed and refrigerator. On the floor is a jumble of surveying and excavation tools, a spirit level, an inclometer, a shovel, a pickaxe, a hammer, and a small hand drill kit, or handheld drill. Teddy inserts the chip into a terminal. Instantly, a holographic interface materializes in the air. Base statistical data about Elysium appears, methodically arranged and categorized. City water supply stats, population census data, public transport operational costs. Huh. Distracted from her examination of the tools, Mino's head snaps up, face edge of puzzlement. That's what's on the chip. Why was she collecting all this data? Your guess is as good as mine. He murmurs, her attention clearly elsewhere. Gaze cuts through the holographic data, fixing on the sticky note at the center. There's a hidden passage under this refrigerator. It now shows the refrigerator side, pulls back the carpet, and reveals a hinged metal trapdoor beneath. Shall we go down? Oh, alright. Back to more investigation.
まさか倉庫の隠し扉とつながっているのが下水道だなんて。危険かもしれないわ。気を引き締めましょう。これは爪痕？アパートで暴走した機械体の痕跡に似てるわね。ここに血痕が。違う。この質感は循環液ね。あそこで誰かが戦っているわ。ムーアだわ。助けに行くわよ。データ削除。バグ発見。バグ発見。侵入開始。データ削除。バグ発見。ハッキング。バグ発見。データ削除。侵入開始。これがあなたの実力？見てなさい。私のフルパワー。どうしてあなたがここに？
失踪事件を調査中でな。手がかりを追ったらここに着いたんだ。こんな赤い目の機械体が出るとは思わなかったけどな。
これらの機械体はどこから来たの？
さあ、手がかりを追ってたら遭遇しただけだからな。
まずは一緒に出る方法を考えましょう。
We're clear. Those writing machines didn't follow us down. Writing machines? Yeah, that's Fitz. Thanks for the backup. Thought it was finished back there. Deep in the sewers, the three slowed their pace, finally cleared the writing machines, and now heading for the exit. Why were you operating alone? You request backup from HQ. Old White retired the day before yesterday. They haven't assigned me a new partner yet. You didn't know? Wasn't paying attention. Really? I always thought you kept up with all the office gossip. Stereotyping. My comms got jammed during the fight. Couldn't call for help. There was a wound at his waist and a sharp hiss of pain escaped his clenched teeth. How did you two end up down here? We're investigating a homicide on Arclight Avenue. The victim had a storage unit at the docks. We found a hidden passage there leading to these sewers. What was the victim? In construction? They just dug a private tunnel from their unit into the city's sewers? No. She was probably a data analyst. Population statistics, census work, that sort of thing. Why miss Manu's dry humor entirely? Teddy shoots her a sharp look, but Manu only answered with a nonchalant shrug. She was likely some kind of hacker. No official records. And she was using stolen bank accounts. Interesting. Seems like everyone's a hacker these days. You encountered something similar? Yeah, I'm on a missing persons case. We can't find any record of the person who filed the report. This guy's voice, unknown gender and age. Couldn't even trace the IP. To bypass our security like that, we're definitely dealing with a professional. We're here. X is just ahead. The trio follows the sewage as it converges through a labyrinth of pipes, finally spewing out to sea through a massive drainage outlet. Just beyond, blinding searchlights sweep the area. Public safety anti-grav cars hang in the night sky. Red and blue lights flashing a stark warning. Backup's here. More bridges on the edge of the anti-grav car's trunk as a medic tends to his wounds. Radio channel crackles non-stop with a stream of incoming reports. Riding machine remains discovered. One civilian, casualty confirmed. Bring him back to the Bureau. No active riding machines detected. Mind bringing me up to speed on your case? Both our investigations led to the sewers. Has to be a connection. Sad knowing look passes between Teddy and Mano. Apartment 703, 442 Arclight Avenue. The victim's name is Christina. Huh? Says that Teddy, his expression one of genuine surprise. Now that's a coincidence. Bouquet. Night rain slices through Elysium's fog, pierces its hazy neon glow, and slips past the towering holographic advertisements. The raindrops spatter against the car windows, etching diagonal streaks across the glass. It's been raining for days. The anti-grav car slides through the steel jungle, heading for the city's heart, the Elysium Central Building. There, various government departments are stacked atop one another. The Crime Investigation Bureau, the Division of the Department of Public Safety, occupies three of them, 25th, 26th, and 27th floors. Bypassing the ground level entirely, the anti-grav car ascends directly to the Bureau's parking area on the 25th floor. Teddy, Mano, and more step out into the rain-laced air. Seriously, why is the Bureau even in the Central Building? Public safety has branches all over the city. We're investigators. Nearly every other floor here is admin. Sticking like a sore thumb every time we report it. If only our department had its own building. Where's the city's tax money even go? Straight into the sewers? Keep joking about taxes and someone will make your life difficult. That's a basic social skill every adult should master. Wanting a whole new building just for personal preference isn't a great use of taxes either. Alright, I'm gonna review the data chip from the dock storage unit. The initial scan was rushed. Christina wouldn't have collected that data without a reason. There has to be a lead in there. I need to file the field report, recover Jack's body, but there are too many unanswered questions. I requested the chief consolidate the cases. The sewers, the rioting machines. I'm getting to the bottom of this. Oh, right. I should call Aline first. Then Teddy and Ward turned to look him up. Can I just clock out? Sorry, in the middle of the night. Fixer will repair disapproving stares. Fine, you win. I'll look into Rokubishi Electric. Certain expressions often did nods of approval. The office lighting is dismal, but then nowhere in Elysium has good lighting. A perpetual overcast smothers the city, blurring the line between day and night into a constant twilight gloom. No wonder they call it the City of Night. In one corner, solitary Lamb fights a losing battle against the shadows. It's here that Teddy sits, face illuminated by the pale blue glow of holographic screens floating from a terminal, currently scrolling through the data stored in the chip. Last year's GDP, 3.2047 trillion, growth rate 3.2%, foreign trade volume, industrial exports, urban development investment. She remembers the old saying, secrets are in the numbers. Numbers never lie. It is true, but only if you can speak that language. It's like trying to scratch an itch through your shoe. I don't even know where to start. Tay lets out a long, heavy sigh, the weight of the day pressing down on her. His back reclining in your office chair until it won't go any further. A sardonic quip, then silence. Teddy lets the word hang, deliberately clearing her thoughts. Her eyes fixed on the holographic data projections, weaving a slow, silent dance overhead. What were you looking at, Christina? Whisper drops into a silence like a stone into a deep well, leaving no ripple. Sorry about that. I wanted to give myself a bit of rest because it seemed a bit like not really tied to it. Remembers the man named Jack in the sewers. His eyes hollow and vacant, trained on the ceiling. It's hard to see through steel and soil, all the way to the open sky. What were you looking at, Jack? The room is a vessel of pure shadow, pierced only by the sickly green glow of a single monitor. Aligns a hunched silhouette, the room is made by a massive shadow on the wall as her fingers fly across the keyboard. Mino's workstation is a landscape of controlled chaos. A copy of Albert Camus's essay collection, a mug bearing the world government emblem, an oil shell of the Rokubishi electric case, the one she promised Teddy and more she'd handle. Right now, a far more troubling matter is in full attention. Why? Data streams cascade down the terminal, torn of raw information. Ghostly light washed over Minot, painting her eyes a luminous unsettling green. Why is there nothing? Where do you people come from? What, the people of Rokubishi? The caustic stream of electric spare. Wow. Hey, been a while. Is this where you work now? Leon. You haven't answered me yet, Teddy. Am I the one going crazy? Or is it you, my dear Victoria? Why am I here? It's the first a coherent thought surfacing through the drowsiness. Second, a chill. Tea is leaching from her body. Last trace of the condensation, liquid evaporating from her synthetic skin. Looks behind her. On the polyester bedsheet, a faint human-shaped outline. Moisture is all that remains of her dream. To her right is a bed-length window, fitted with one-way glass. Beyond it, a hazy, depthless sky makes time unreadable. In the distance, skyscrapers pierce the gloom, the light glowing like a vast dormant circuit board. What am I even thinking? To the left, a trail of chaos leads to the doorway to her bed. Boots, socks, jacket, shirt, gloves, shorts. Breed of a young woman's life too hastily lived. Bedside clock glows 5:12 a.m. After yesterday's brutal workload, barely 2 hours of rest, even her conscious body is protesting. Shakes her head, trying to quell the storm in her mind. During the dull throb behind her eyes, she pushes herself up, strips the bed, leaves the sheets in the waiting laundry room. Slides down the wall, falling into herself, head buried in her arms. The laundry machine's gentle hum is the room's only heartbeat. After a long while, the vacuum robots roars to life on the schedule, or be against their leg. Retreats, advances, retreats again, on the sense of confusion. Criminal Investigation Bureau, Elysium Central Building, 25th floor. You know, I have half a mind to think Teddy was trying to hack in to try to fix the whole situation of Babylonia from falling down to planet Earth, right? And then all of a sudden, the same power that was used against Liv to create this, like, fake reality has now happened to, what's it called? Teddy, right? Because the girl did run away at the end. Like, her mother was the one who held us back, but she was still able to escape, so maybe she used her powers that way as like a defense mechanism against like whatever virus or command was issued. That's all I can think of, because it's like, how else does it connect the story? And it would explain how Teddy is kind of seemingly disconnected from her actual memories of the family, right? What was the name of it? Not Copperfield. Damn it, they were... Oh, yeah, Norman. Right, because the Norman Mining Corps. Right. Maybe that's what it's about. It's at a stark white psychological evaluation room. What does it feel like to reunite with our friend? Download. Do you feel the stress when you see dead bodies? Download. Do you feel warm from reuniting with family? Upload. What does it feel like to live with your parents? Upload. You have to feel surrounded by darkness? Touch. Sealed room. A sealed room. Operating table. Flying sparrow. A flying sparrow. Mind is experiencing minor disruption, but remains with normal parameters. Please ensure you take your mandated rest, Inspector. Teddy walks out of the psychological evaluation room, pressing fingers to her brow. Well, Teddy turns around to find Manoli against the wall, face edged with pure exhaustion. And here I thought I was the one who looked tired. That's what happens when you have me digging into Rokubishi Electric all night. Care to guess what I found? Just spit it out. The CEO's having a steamy affair with an employee. But no. Can't take a joke. Fine. I didn't find a single thing. Expression hardens, before sharpening to a more serious tone. Absolutely nothing. Even you came up empty? I hacked their servers, inventory, executive PCs, company emails. Every possible source. From what I gathered, I could start my own Rokubishi Electric. Unless you're dealing with someone out of your league. But that's highly unlikely. Even then, I'd find traces of the intrusion. But there's no evidence that the system was ever hacked. A dead end. Really a draw puzzle within Teddy's mind. So Teddy, you haven't answered me yet. What? No, Blink's taken back by Teddy's sharp rejection. I was asking about your psyche eval. Per Bureau protocol, every inspector assigned to a homicide must complete 2 psychological evaluations. One to initiate investigation, a second to close it, ensuring the mental fitness of its field personnel throughout the process. Oh, I see. So like, kind of like your regular checkups? Nothing serious. A bit disruptive, but still within parameters. Fair enough. A victim like that, it would get to anyone. Do you think your frame data was leaked? All the better. Then I could just arrest you and call it a day. As far as I'm concerned, you're the only person who could steal my frame data without a trace. But I mean, to be fair, they did make a replica of Lucia back then, right? And they did the same for, what else was it? We had another situation where someone was being oh, Lee! Right! The hyperreal frame. That was copied before. So, it could be possible, you never know. No plugs a disposable electrolytic vape from her pocket. Brings it to her lips and the device's red tip flares like a warning light as she takes a long drag. She exhales a slow, curling plume of vapor. Her dissipating haze, her gaze rests on Teddy, not veiled, but readable. What was with you earlier? Just reminded me of something. What did you say? Last night, I dreamed of Leonardo. Said something similar to what you just said. Your brother, huh? How long has it been since the falling incident? Huh? 10 years. Minot takes another deep drag from her electrolytic vape and opens her mouth to speak. Oh, there you two are. The chief wants to see us. Wait, what? Hold up. Wait. I'm trying to make sure I understand. Is this supposed to be in like in a? Okay, so supposedly this is supposed to be 10 years after Babylonia fell from the sky, right? But then where the hell was Teddy in all this? Doesn't she work in Babylonia too? Wouldn't she have been on there? Like, I would understand why Leonardo's up there, but how would Teddy not have been there? Because I think Carnina would have been there too, right? Unless she was up on a field mission? But then again, I guess you could say the same, like maybe Teddy was on a field mission or something. Oh no, wait. Oh, wait, no, hold up. Right, because we had Teddy and Karenina help us on a mission, right? It was in Liv's story. They were helping us to, like, escape the mines. So what, did she stay a bit longer when we had returned, and now she's kind of, like, in this story where it said, like, 10 years after that? Gee, James is hunched over 2 physical paper reports when Teddy, Minot, and Moore entered his office. Because also, they're talking about, like, these red robots. They're corrupted, right? Why haven't we used those terms yet? Because it's not like they're gone, right? The punishing still exists. It's around. They haven't solved it. So it kind of makes me think, again, maybe it's a scenario where Teddy's trapped in, like, her own realm where supposedly the incident did happen. Or, I guess, where the incident had succeeded and Babylonia plummeted to the earth. It's a picture of efficiency. A sharp side-parted crop of hair, rectangular glasses, a precise mustache, unmistakable contours of a dedicated gym-goer beneath his dress shirt. One might also wonder if he has a wealthy friend who dresses up in a bad costume after hours. Ah, I see, trying to be like the Jim Gordon. But today, that efficiency is marred by a cloud of palpable concern. Without a word, Minot and Teddy head over to the couch and make themselves comfortable. A practice act of casual defiance. James's lip twitches, but he chooses the path of least resistance. A sight out of mind. Pivots his full wary attention to more. I reviewed the reports. What's your assessment of these riding machines? No leads from Rokubishi Electric. They haven't reported any missing inventory. There should be production serial numbers on the remains. Anyone check those? Didn't find a serial number on that one. Someone might have erased it. The Arcline Avenue attack. The dog sewer disappearance. Both involve riding machines. Evidence from the apartment victim points towards the sewers. I'm approving Moore's request to merge the investigations. Christina, you can step away from this. Investigating a victim who mirrors your frame, we would all understand. No, I'm staying on the case. Yep. Moore, you can also step away. Focus on recovering from your injuries. That's not necessary, Chief. My injuries aren't serious. This is nothing for our construct. You sure about that? Yeah. That's settled. The 3 of you will form an investigation team. If there's nothing else, you're dismissed. The 3 of them file out of the Chief's office. After a moment's hesitation, Moore decides to speak up. I've been meaning to ask, do you two have some kind of issue with the Chief? There's absolutely no respect for authority here. None whatsoever. Not everyone loves their job as much as you do. But that doesn't mean we don't take our cases seriously. I don't really care about things like salary or job titles. As for Teddy, she just has an allergy to rules and red tape. That's quite a carefree outlook. Let's focus on the cases. We had a wall with the riding machines. I suggest we pivot back to the victim. As conversation turns to the cases, Moore's tone grows serious. So we start by investigating the victim's history and personal connections. Okay. I was playing the same. Jack was only classified as missing before, which limited our access to his private data. Do a full background dive. You find anything on that storage ship from last night? What's the problem? I'm not sure, but some of the data doesn't add up. Import-export volumes, GDP. In plain words, the city is consuming far more resources than it's paying for. It's like a mysterious benefactor supplying the city out of thin air. Could other regions be funding us? No idea. That's well above our pay grade anyway. If people start thinking the world isn't real over something like this, they have way too much time on their hands. They should try painting or writing instead. Once they're suffering through the creative process, they won't have the bandwidth for these theories. True continues their discussion, footsteps echoing as they move from the chief's office toward the 25th floor reception hall. A perplexing extravagance for a bureau dedicated to crime investigation. Well, that smile is genuinely disturbing, old man. I'm not old enough to be called old man. Besides, you two won't understand the joy of getting a message from your wife. That's the kind of thing that drives mature, dependable men to face life head on. Old man is a state of mind, and that speech has proved our point. Damn it. Anyway, to thank you both for your help earlier. I'll be coming over to my place for dinner tonight. While waiting for a response, Mo's already calling Aline. Aline, can you prepare some extra food for tonight? I'm inviting 2 colleagues over. Right, the ones who helped me before. Minot and Teddy. Minot? Yeah, the famous one from our bureau, you know? Isn't it a bit too rushed? Don't worry about it, it's totally fine. Hey, come on. That settles it then. I'll see you later. Wow. Unilaterally deciding our evening. We never actually agreed. Don't tell me you're gonna turn me down. Your colleague will weep. Our friendship will shatter. That's totally an old man act. What is going on? I'm so confused. I don't understand where this is headed. Like, it's not that I'm trying to be like dramatic, but it's like I'm honestly confused. But then again, there are some of these that get confusing. Is it like later? It's like, oh my god, the clarity, the damage. Yes, the truth has always been just one page away. Sorry about that. Just drinking some water. Alright, let me eat at least a bit of it. So you two knew each other before you became partners at the Bureau. You heard? Just some office gossip. You know how it is. Figure you two might not hear much of it. You both keep to yourselves more than most. Pass the mashed potatoes, please. That's correct. Teddy and I go way back. Back then, she was a rather melancholy girl. And even now... Teddy shoots a sharp glare at Moore. Sorry, my bad. In here I thought you were the Bureau's resident nice guy. Why does everything lately remind me of that annoying man? I just want to bond with my little sister. You know, I don't often have the chance. Whoa, is that all you got to say to your brother? Forget it. Under the table, Moore stifles a wince as the lead shoe presses firmly onto his foot. Are you into gardening, Aline? Yes. Stars of the conversation sudden pivot toward her, acting like a student caught daydream by a teacher's pointed question. It's just a little hobby. It's a good hobby to have. The vegetation coverage in the city is at an appalling low after all. Right? Who knows where all of Elysium's tax money actually goes? Like a pre-written script executing, more instinctively fills the silence, keeping the conversation moving. That's tax alchemy for you. These two are absolutely hopeless. I just remembered I still have some plants that need watering. He rises from his seat with an apologetic look. Couldn't that wait until after dinner? He doesn't answer, so she simply turns and carries a plant from the living room corner out to the balcony. She passes, Teddy's gaze catches on a familiar-looking yellow-orange cup sitting on the windowsill. It's filled with sorrel, cradling a single fiery orange-red flower. Oh, wait, is she thinking that maybe she's involved in the case? I mean, we do know that it's possibly another mechanoid involved. Who's to say Aline isn't? But maybe I'm just getting ahead of myself. More. How's your investigation coming along? The Jack case? I got some leads. His record was spotless. Went to Elysium 5 years ago and opened a high-end restaurant. The place has professional management, strong performance, and stable finances. He was on a dating site. Dated 3 women, 2 were one-time dinner meetings. Third, he met twice but didn't go anywhere. I did field interviews today. Didn't turn up much. The consensus is, he's a decent guy but too old-fashioned. Quiet. Honestly, a bit boring. Can you believe his favorite movie is a terminating robot? Story about a robot from the future sent back to assassinate the mother of humanity's future leader? Oh god. As if I ever got through that before. I guess that old school type isn't really in style anymore. But if he's just so ordinary, then why was he even the target of this? Or why would he even know about a path like that to the sewers? What's the problem? I searched his residence. His apartment is exceptionally clean and tidy. Clearly well maintained. A single man, his habits are remarkably disciplined. His fridge is fully stocked, including fresh fruit. Most single guys I know can't be bothered. They just take vitamin pills. Breakfast at home, lunch at his restaurant, dinner at home. He had a home theater system and always watched a movie after dinner. Even 3 identical suits and a dedicated tie rack in his closet. The guy lived a life of stability that most people can only dream of. The only anomaly is his diary. He wrote, "Every time I look into the window, I see a man standing on a lone log floating down a river. Our past, our present, and our future. All of it's nothing but bubbles. You're dreaming in a locked room. The world is but an illusion and conscious yet just a phantom. This is the connection." What did you say? I've been thinking. Writing machines appeared both in Christina's and Jack's cases. There must be some sort of connection between the two. And that connection has to be the key to the killer's motive. The killer's motive. Huh? No, why done it? Both Jack and Christina question the nature of reality itself. Are you saying we have a serial killer targeting people who believe the world isn't real? Ah, like a regulator of sorts, right? Nah, then this has to be it, right? This has to tie in with what happened last time, because it took a while for Liv to actually come to the understanding of the commandant being gone and everything, and her supposedly new lifestyle. It must be the same, but they're trying to make sure nothing else can, like, break the illusion. As for Teddy, it just feels like it already happened. That probably sounds absurd. And there's another lead. His bank records show a weekly transfer, same time every week. Payments at a psychological clinic. I think the doctor's name is... Welcome to Elysium Trending. Our guest today is a leading expert in psychology, Professor John. Right, John. That's the name. Our topic is a reportedly trending condition in our city. Patients questioning whether the world around them is real. Is this a genuine phenomenon, or just another urban legend? Right, because there was that other guy in the same apartment as Christina, who was also questioning the world, right? And again, there was a sticky note at Christina's storage unit. Was it real or fake? On screen, a man sits poised on a sofa. He's impeccably dressed in a single-breasted gray suit, with a white coat worn over it. A black-green striped tie perfectly mirroring the color of his eyes. His beard and hair meticulously groomed. He radiates a trustworthy aura, the kind that makes a patient surrender their doubts without a single thought. Academically, we refer to this condition as derealization disorder. There is a school of thought in my field that posits that deep within the human psyche, there exists a powerful self-destructive tendency. Perhaps some of you at home have felt this. When standing at a great height, looking down, a subtle impulse whispers in your mind, jump. Or when holding a blade staying at its edge, a thought flickers. What if I use it on myself? Even with a gun in your hand, you might feel a compulsion to turn the barrel inward and pull the trigger. Professor, getting back to derealization disorder, the patients themselves share no clear commonalities. A successful restaurateur and a dock worker can both fall prey to doubting their reality. Wait, what? Why does he know about that? In fact, setting my professional role aside, I can empathize with the impulse to question the authenticity of our world. Professor, are you suggesting that... He flounders, the thread of conversation slipping through his mental grasp. Consider that a conscious mind is merely the co-pilot of the body. So what then sits in the driver's seat? That pilot varies. For some, it is instinct. For others, emotion. Or simply habit. And from the passenger seat, you look out and see the reason to jump. You see an exquisite world, vast, beautiful, and cruel, operating in endless intricate cycles. Faced with such a spectacle, who wouldn't pause to wonder, is the world I live in truly real? The man's voice is calm, methodical, laying out a philosophy that borders on heresy. For every word, something long buried begins to stir deeper inside you. You're in the passenger seat, neck straining as you fight to look up. You look up, and you see Christina's, your face. Yes, the truth has always been just one page away. You've always known. Teddy, you're the one who... What the heck? Television screen dies, plunging the room into a sudden ringing silence. I'm looking to that psychologist tomorrow. The dinner gathering dissolves into quiet goodbyes, each guest retreating into the silence of their own thoughts. On her way out, Teddy's gaze drifts to the living room windowsill. The yellow-orange cup is gone, relocated to the balcony of Eileen. What's that flower called? The orange-red one on your balcony. Sorrow's End. It's really beautiful. Day turns and leaves, but the image of the cup stays with her, vivid and unresolved. Oh, right. Like, it's not just an ordinary cup, right? That's usually for, like, the serum. Why do I feel that cup was meant for holding serum? Serum. But what serum? Moore clears the table while Aline washes dishes in the kitchen. You can just leave the washing to me. Aline doesn't respond, leaving the room in an unsettling stillness. Why did you choose to become an inspector? You must pursue the truth. This isn't your responsibility. And from the passenger seat, you look out and see the reason to jump. You see an exquisite world, vast, beautiful, and cruel, operating in endless intricate cycles. Faced with such a spectacle, who wouldn't pause to wonder, is the world I live in truly real? Man's voice is calm, methodical, laying out philosophy that borders on heresy. A woman in a black dress lies in a pool of crimson. Who is she? Aline, is this world real? Porcelain plate slips from Aline's grasp, spouting in a constellation of white shards on the dark marble. Spins, eyes wide in shock and fixed on him. In her expression, Moore finally hears his own words. No, I didn't mean it like that. I was just wondering why Jack would think that way. What? Ah, no, don't tell me she's actually one of the regulators, right? BWV 478. Every person in society, even the most normal, suffers from some degree of mental illness. Your mission this time. Oh, from Haston? Oh, that woman. And to died, she... Why did it have to be you? Yeah, so maybe it's like this is actually like a case that Tiggy was involved in. Tangled whispers and fractured visions tear through the quiet of her mind. The deviation level is rising. The young woman jolts awake. Fragments of the irretrievable dream still lingers in her mind. Time to drag myself to work. An awkward tension hangs over the trio as they meet again, lingering residue from their decidedly unsuccessful dinner the night before. I was planning to stop by Jack's restaurant today, but that psychologist got me worried. So here's my thought. You go check on the psychologist. We'll handle the restaurant. We all meet back here afterward. Sorted? The more leaves, Teddy turns to Madame. What's got you so tense? I'm thinking about those writing machines. You're getting a little obsessed with them, you know that? I'm just concerned about Elysium's safety. Then let's stop worrying and start finding the culprit. We'll begin at the restaurant. John's clinic occupies the top floor of an unremarkable high-rise, what hundreds of identical buildings that form Elysium's generic skyline. As Moore steps into the reception area, a woman dressed in corporate attire emerges from the inner office. Her eyes briefly met Moore's before she presses past him. What closes behind her is John. According to my schedule, I don't have any more appointments today. I'm Inspector Moore with the Crime Investigation Bureau, badge number ED26. This is my ID. I need to ask you some questions about one of your patients. Please, come in. We can talk inside. Opens the door and steps aside, granting more entry. The office is a study with minimalist elegance, black, white, and gray, with a hint of deep emerald. One desk anchors the room before towering windows, while two low-profile leather sofas sit across the dark green striped wool carpet. Floor-to-ceiling bookcase, complete with a sliding ladder, dominates one wall. The faint, refreshing scent of a desk-side candle permeates the air, completing the curated atmosphere. It's a nice office. Thank you. The environment is designed to help my patients maintain a comfortable state of mind. The fragrance is quite special. Is it citrus? I made it myself. It's a personal hobby, but it also integrates with my professional practice. That counts as part of your work? As I said, it helps my patients maintain a comfortable state of mind. You move to the room's center, where his gaze sweeps the bookshelf, cataloging the titles in a single practiced glance. Cognitive behavioral therapy, existential psychotherapy, introduction to self-reconstruction. The entire collection is psychology related, as expected in a psychologist's office. Please, have a seat. I'm not your patient. I'm aware, but it makes a little difference. And it makes a little difference. You must be aware that there are many schools of thought in psychology. Jung, Maslow, Piaget, Freud, constructivism, behaviorism, Gestaltism. Or Gestaltism? Is that a thing? And I adhere to certain principles of my own. One is my belief that every person in society, even the most normal, suffers from some degree of mental illness. I guess no one is truly healthy. Let's get back to why I'm here. As you wish. Do you know a man named Jack? 34 years old, male, owner of the Timeless Feast. Yes, I know him. There's only one Jack among my patients. However, I cannot disclose his details, but my professional ethics and the law prohibit it. Jack is dead. Doesn't seem particularly surprised. Now, both professionally and legally, you have an obligation to give me that information. Have a seat, Inspector. I'll retrieve his file for you. Makes it 2 steps towards his desk before stopping short, turning back to Moore. I'll expect you need some time to review it. John unlocks the password-protected cabinet and, with practice efficiency, extracts Jack's file from the rows of records. The file is surprisingly thin, containing records for only 5 consultations. First one. Jack, 34. Chief complaint. Severe anxiety, accompanied by intermittent unfamiliarity with reality. Also reports recurrent nightmares set in an unknown world. Preliminary diagnosis, anxiety disorder. Treatment plan, primary treatment will be cognitive behavioral therapy. Medication may be considered at a later stage. Risk assessment, low. Notes. Is aware of the source of anxiety but avoids it, claiming it is fake. The immediate goal is to build trust and uncover what he's concealing. Number 2. Describes otherworldly dreams and alter ego feeling more realistic. States verbatim, everything I have now is an illusion, and my other self is the real one. Preliminary diagnosis, derealization disorder, anxiety disorder. Wait, isn't that just the order of the books? It feels like he's kind of just filling in for stuff. Wait, hold up. We've been through this before, haven't we? Was someone like trying to make it seem like it was an actual report, but it's like they're just listing stuff off of order from somewhere else to make it seem like it? I don't know. It could be misremembering or just like making a false assumption. Third, self-harm risk, medium. Mr. Others, low. Notes, pathology is the more profound than initially assessed, which requires a more intensive approach. Help him articulate these otherworldly memories, then challenge their validity. Third, consultation. Notes, claims to live in a conservation area in a post-apocalyptic reality. It is. We're all trapped in some kind of illusion. Or simulation, right? Probably one of like 10 years after when Babylonia was falling from the sky. But again, like, why is it affecting more people? Like, I could understand maybe why it affects Teddy. Because, like, if she had to hack her way and is trying to search, like, through Gestalt and everything, and they use that to their advantage, but it's like, how would it affect others? Unless it's, like, only affecting constructs or something, but I don't know. 5th. Self-harm risk high. Suffers medium. Now, Jack's conditions deteriorate. Wait, if you have his self-harm risk high, why didn't he do anything? Or ask for, like, support? Is this all of it? That's all. What's your take on this? On what specifically? On Jack. He was unwell. That's the entirety of it. That's it. Ah, Inspector. I could offer you a special discount. What are you? Every person in society, even the most normal, suffers from some degree of mental illness. Just as you are now, aren't you also questioning the authenticity of your own reality? Is that a joke? A question for you. How did you arrive in Elysium? By boat, with my wife. How long have you been here? 3 years. And what was your occupation before you came? I was stationed at... Huh? I wonder, is this John supposed to be like a good guy helping them out? Because it kind of seems like he's allowing the realization for it. Maybe he's just one who's starting to obtain self-awareness in this enclosed space. John's face still bears the same composed smile. The Pisa refused to fan. Cold formless dread begins to bloom. Right, because in the end, we don't know how that conversation ended between him and Aline. Call to your memories, desperate for an answer. Soldier. I was a soldier. Next question. Why did you choose to become an inspector? That's irrelevant to the case. I'm here to investigate. Jack behaved unusually before his death. Very well, if you insist. There was one thing. During our 5th session, he'd mentioned he'd recently met someone who exhibited symptoms similar to his own. The name... let me see. I believe it was a girl called Norman. Is she someone you know, Inspector? I need more details. According to Jack, he encountered a girl near Mirage Street. That is all I know about the matter. A pity. I'd intended to ask him for more details in our next session. I've told you everything I know regarding Jack. You may take the document. And now I'm afraid I must attend to other clients. I was under the impression your schedule was clear for the day. No more office appointments, but some clients prefer house calls. John pushed himself up from the sofa and walks to his desk, packing his briefcase with an air of finality. Moore, reading the clear signal, rises as well and starts for the door. So then maybe Teddy was killed, right? But she had to be reset because she's important to be trapped in the illusion, right? Like, if she had a game over, maybe she would actually end up going back to the real world, to reality. So they had to reset her again, but with different specs. Maybe that's how? Or if a reset to memory? Because to be fair, they were doing that to Liv too, where she didn't even remember she was a construct and just thought she was human. Like she used to. If the investigation requires it, I'll be back with more questions. Of course, that is my obligation. One moment, Inspector. You never answered my question. Why did you choose to become an inspector? To pursue the truth. It'd be interesting if, like, somehow Moore isn't, like, anyone, and it's like, wait, it's the commandant, but just with someone else's story. Her clothes are leaving John alone in the room. You should have been a journalist. Okay. Elysium, timeless feast. The restaurant sits at the end of Oak Street. A palette of deep black softened only by orange ambient light creates intimate pockets for conversation. Handwritten signage and the gentle flow of classical music are the final deliberate touches in an environment designed for those who wish to remain unseen. Come, sweet death. BWV 478 Bach. Such a high-born lady's remark. Isn't that piece here is just ironic? As the two enter, a server at the door approaches to greet them. Good day, ladies. Do you have a reservation? Inspector Manel, Elysium Crime Investigation Bureau, ID ED03. The Timeless Feast Office. Plump man bustles in. Hope he's proud of a handkerchief. I'm the manager here. How may I assist you? I start nervously toward Teddy again and again as he speaks. What does he... Oh, did he know Christina? Like the victim for the case? Jack's the owner of this restaurant, correct? He's been missing for days. Why wasn't a report filed? We were just as confused, but he is the owner, you know. The restaurant runs quite smoothly on its own. Even when he's here, he only drops in for inspections. He rarely handles the day-to-day. Yeah, that's true, because owners don't have to be at the store at all times. It's not like they're a server or a waiter or a cook. At first, we thought he was just taking a break. He's the boss, after all. It's not that unusual. It wasn't until today that we started to worry. We were actually discussing filing a report right before you arrived. What's your relationship with Jack? You don't talk? Well, I wouldn't say it's bad. It's quite good. Actually, it's strictly professional. We hardly ever interact outside of work. The same for all the staff. Jack treats everyone well, good pay and all. But he's careful about boundaries. Outside a restaurant, there's barely any contact. If I may ask, what happened to Jack? He's dead. What? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Next month's paychecks. No, wait. What happens to the restaurant now? Get a grip. Right. Okay. Did he meet with anyone before he disappeared? Anything unusual? Yes. Didn't he meet with you, Inspector? What? The piece refused to fit. A cold, formless uncertainty begins to bloom. When and where? The afternoon before he disappeared. I saw him meeting you here. Give me an exact time. You should be around 4 in the afternoon. His eyes flick upward and to the left. The classic involuntary tick of the brain accessing memory. That day. I remember you at the bureau. Okay. Tay doesn't even glance up. Her fingers a fluid blur over the holographic keyboard. You're pulling up the surveillance footage. A basic skill everyone should have in this day and age. Before the final syllable leaves her lips, 6 surveillance feeds snap into existence from Teddy's terminal. Her fingers flick through the air, setting the timeline forward to 3:59. Timestamp begins its slow crawl, 1 minute, 2, 3. The underground grows dense and heavy as if the world itself is holding its breath. Inspector? There. Surveillance footage shows Jack, the model citizen in his sharp black suit, walking to the restaurant. His expression is distant, preoccupied. Beside him is nothing. Just a searing blur of corrupted pixels. I see. Because they'd probably have a... If they are creating this whole hallucination thing in like a simulation, they would have more control over how to make sure the illusion stays, right? Because when it came to Live, they had to slowly ease into like making it an illusion, right? However, time's probably not on their side right now because they want Babylonia to fall. So they have like these things that are kind of like regulating it to make sure that it's like, okay, even if it's sloppy work, we just need to make sure that they fall for it until the countdown's done. Then we don't need it anymore. Maybe that's it. Another hacker in the mix. So what's next? Hackers, the ultimate showdown? Human's laugh escapes Moore's lips, his eyes locked on the screen. Fire in his gaze gutters, mixed by pure uncomprehending bewilderment. I don't get it. Join the club. So first it was Christina, and now we have Norman. I don't understand what's happening. I know one thing for sure. It's all aimed at you, Teddy. That psychologist said Jack met Norman near Mirage Street, right? Whatever this Norman's real identity is, she's probably the next target. Agreed. On what grounds? Grounds? Since when do you tell jokes? Pop quiz. What's my name? Wolf answers a question, his weight shifting awkwardly. Minnow and Teddy turn to him in near unison. Synchronized gaze, a silent twin demand of what is your problem hangs in the air. He offers no explanation, only averting his eyes. He was too dismissive, filing the reaction away as just another one of more than explicable quirks. The first victim was Christina, the second was Jack, and now we have this Norman. Jack knew Norman, and I bet anything this Norman also knows Christina. I just think maybe we should take another look at these riding machines. Didn't you already check that? You said there were no leads. Besides, those riding machines are just the weapons. What matters is who's wielding them. Maybe Manu's trying to drive off the case, right? Because maybe it makes the two look connected because they were there at the same time. Well, Jack's body and the corrupted. But in reality, again, because they're just corrupted, they're just pawns and spawn, it wouldn't lead you anywhere for the case. The real question is, how does Norman track down Jack? John. Were John's patient records digitized? Yep, both digital and physical copies. She must have pulled Jack's information from the psychologist's database. Ah, right. She's the one who reported Jack's case. She's the reason he went to the sewers. So now we just need to meet with this Norman. The question is, how do we find her? Our last hacker, Christina, was a complete ghost. No resident records, bank cards, rent history, grocery purchases, surveillance footage, social connections, health insurance. On paper, she didn't exist. If we hadn't found her body, we'd never have known she was in Elysium. In modern society's an ocean, these hackers aren't fish. They're supernatural tentacle creatures that bend the water itself. True crashing into more with the force of a tidal wave. Two more beside them are the very supernatural tentacle creatures that bend the water itself, you just so carelessly described. Ugh. Humans are social creatures. As long as she's living in this society, she'll leave traces of contact with her surroundings. We can't find her directly, but we can work backward from the visible to track the invisible. Don't tell me you're going to... That's right. You're staying to help me. Do I have a choice? No. Sorry, but I don't understand a word of what you just said. The responds are a weary voice of a woman at the end of her rope. Simply put, she's going to analyze the social activity data of everyone near Mirage Street to find a blank spot. Eliminating everyone else, whatever's left is our target. Ah, because everyone else will still exist. Will that actually work? It's worth a shot. Can we just trace her on the city cameras around the restaurant? See where she came from? Tried it. She vanished around a corner. Okay, what can I do to help? Give me some black tea. Roger that, ma'am. What about you? Latte with 2 sugar cubes. Alright, this case is actually getting kind of interesting. But again, it's like, what does this do, if anything? Again, I think my hunch is right, but I can't say for sure yet. Because like, could they have applied that young girl's powers so quickly? Considering it hasn't even been weeks since the incident with Liv. Mirage Street isn't exactly a popular destination, but that worked in their favor. It only took Teddy and Minot 3 hours to track down Norman's location. Now the 3 of them advance down the street, target a warehouse among the buildings. So this is where Norman lives. Wait, I got a question. Why a warehouse? The other Christina had one too, right? Maybe supernatural tentacle creatures that bend the water itself just have a thing for warehouses. Right, sorry. Dumb question. Yeah, because I mean, if you're a hacker, you want a much more open space. But you don't want it with windows where you can be seen. And again, with apartments, you can be easily tracked by, like, who's renting the room. It's not like their security's the best regarding digital information. Barry's look washes over Moore's face as his shoulders slump. Really, Teddy isn't as detached as she was pretending to be. The conversation falls away as they reach the warehouse entrance. She knows we're coming. No looks up at the corner where security camera suddenly watches the three of them. Let's knock. That's pointless. No reaches for the access panel. The bulky bounces her, an electronic lock disengages with a sharp clunk. We're just here to ask a few questions. Isn't she a bit on edge? Beats me. They follow Minot as she bursts into the warehouse. The interior is Spartan, not by design, but by neglect. It holds only the barest essentials for survival, a hollowed-out shell of a living space. And deep within the warehouse, the door slams into her because of bang. Norman was already on the move. And this is just perfect. Putting under her breath, Teddy follows Minot as she sews the back door open and bursts outside. The moment Teddy steps outside, a primal alarm screams within her. Something's wrong. A visual module glitches violently, showing a mosaic of red, yellow, and purple. There are pathways scream with static, and the command to stand dissolves into a scrambled shriek of feedback. Controller abandons her, limbs buckling, Teddy crashes to the ground. The sound of collapse makes Minot spin around. What's going on? More rise fashionably late. A virus attack targeting constructs. Alright, but Minot's might not necessarily be a construct, right? She's just a mechanoid. Minot works quickly, pushing the virus from Teddy's systems. 30 seconds later, Teddy's eyes begin to refocus. You okay? Yeah. More of a nuisance than a threat. Just meant to slow us down. Then let's go. There you go. Finally I get to do something.
止まって話をするだけだから。あなたたちはこのまま追って、私は別の方向から行くわ。
わかった。
そんなことで私を止められるとでも？侵入開始。データ削除。侵入開始。バグ発見。ハッキング。侵入開始。データ削除。侵入開始。これがあなたの実力？見てなさい。私のフルパワー。 こに行ったの？
Looks like she rested for a while and then head that way. Alright.
ここから逃げたっぽいな。追いかけよ
う。急ぎましょう。追うわよ。どうしてここにも暴走した機械体が？バグ発見。バグが出た。ハッキング。ウイルスプログラム。あれ？機体が。ウイルス権限ダッシュ。
お前どうして機体が変わってるんだ？
私にもわからない。とりあえず今はノルマを追いましょう。ウイルスプロ視覚ジャミング。
あっちに行ったぞ。
しつこいわね。ウイルスリンク開花。デジタル空間。隙だらけね。偽りを破壊する。一体あそこで何が？間に合わなかったわ。私は先に戻るから周りを確認しておいて。写真を撮って記録しましょう。
I don't know. I'm kind of thinking it's Manel, right? Because she would be the only one who knew about Teddy. She technically has like a Vorpal blade kind of weapon too, at least from the cutscene. And to be fair, maybe when she sliced that billboard or giant screen, it wasn't meant to stop her. Maybe it was actually meant to stop us, Teddy. Or at least the one we're playing as. That way she wouldn't be able to see what would happen next, and you would just think, oh, they got to her, right? Because she had a lead on them. That's what I'm thinking. And of course, still the decals. But again, that's just me. But that's kind of what I'm thinking because, again, it does seem like Minot's trying really hard to steer us away from actually closing in on the case. As the final riding machine glides to the floor, Teddy allows a soft sigh. Stays there breathing, preparing to take stock of it as it changes to her frame. Suddenly, countless streams of data materialize. Digital deluge overwhelming her mind. Visual module flickers, projecting scenes she can't remember. Protocol decryption is complete. Initiating hijack. Familiar voice reaches her ears. Someone important to her? Who are those people? Blind followers, unrealistic dreamers, and practitioners with hollow ambitions. Is it a conversation from the past? Can't believe you didn't tell me you were going to upgrade your frame. It suits you so much better. Brainless idiots. The final image shows a friend swinging a light blade toward her. Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking. It's like, I think it is. No. If I'm pronouncing. So this is where the mockery took place. Phantom noise and images fade, allowing the world to solidify from the darkness. As last echoes die, reality comes into focus. The remains of riding machines scattered and silent, more picking his way toward her through the debris. You? I'm fine. Consciousness returned to her familiar frame. That new frame, it should have existed only as a data draft. A new frame that should have existed as a data draft. Why does this concept come so naturally to my mind? Where's Minot? In the alley up ahead. A profound silence hangs heavy in the air. She managed to stop Norman? Or they both run off somewhere? Yeah. Stabbing pain pulls through her mind again. Is it a lingering effect of the virus trap? Hallucinations are returning. Visual static and auditory whispers frame at the edges of her consciousness. Her whispers offer up a bear. She's about to enter the alley. Whispers bring back the spark of the divine. What's so wrong with losing yourself in an illusion? You sure you want to go in? What? It's already too late. No, it has to be, right? Because, again, the same thing happened before, too, where it was like, every time Liv was coming close to recovering her original memories, she felt a headache. Around the corner, she finds a scene of devastation. The wreckage of riding machines litters the alley, all scarred by claws and energy weapons. The acrid smell of burning hangs in the air, pierced by slanted neon beams from the billboards outside. In the center of it all stands Minot, head bowed. Before, Norman lies motionless in a pool of her own vital fluid. Shuffled strands of lavender hair hide Minot's expression. But nothing can hide the crimson on her hands. Norman's vital fluid. Minot. I was too late. The riding machines were too fast. Voice reaches Teddy flat and distant, as if through a faulty connection. Maybe her audio sensors are failing. Can you check the area? I'm heading back. She melts deeper into the alley and vanishes within moments. Teddy's now left alone with Norman's corpse. Crimson vital fluid, the same fatal wound as Christina's. A clean, precise strike to the chest, piercing the core. Scorched bionic skin and melted components mark her with her silence and screams. You've offered up another bear. Now you can start asking. What were you looking at, Norman? No, yeah, that definitely has to be it. Elysium night. A full moon bathes the city in a silent silver glow. On a quiet rooftop, Teddy stands motionless, her eyes fixed on the distant icy specks of starlight. The sound of familiar footsteps approaches from behind, but she doesn't turn. Yo, I brought some drinks. She lifts up the plastic bag in her right hand. It's weighed just to find a few cans of synthetic alcoholic electrolyte and black tea inside. Yours is the black tea. Not exactly the right time or place for a proper brew, so you have to make do. After passing a can of black tea to Teddy, Minot settles in beside her, pulls out electrolytic vape. Keep sucking that thing and you need a new pair of lungs before you know it. Then I'll get them replaced. It's not like there's a shortage of bionic parts. The can of tea hits as Teddy opens it. Looks to her lips for a small sip. Has Norman been taken care of? I thought you weren't going to bring that up tonight. The body's at the HQ morgue. The forensic investigators on it, and Moore's writing the report. But I doubt they'll get anything useful. That body was a perfect copy of Christina's. Sorry. What are you apologizing for? That was too late. I couldn't stop those writing machines. Moore and I see it the same way. Those words, a heavy silence falls between them. What was she hiding? Why did she have to run? Why were those machines hunting her? There are too many loose ends. It feels like we're missing a layer. Something deeper we haven't even scratched. The cause of the derealization disorder was controlling the machines. The link between Christina and Norman's names and faces. We got nothing. Besides the resignation crushes the empty can in her. And then there's Jack. What about him? He's different from both Christina and Norman. Right. How did Civilian end up like that, right? His wounds were not the same. The memory of that illusion flashed behind Teddy's eyes. Minot's drone, the unfurling blade of light, seemed to lunge toward her.
His wounds didn't show any sign of high temperature burns.
But I had to wonder, is Teddy not realizing it, or is she just choosing not to? Because again, it's like, for me, I'd be highly suspicious of Minot. Because even if they say she was at the office the first time, that doesn't mean her blades can't just move autonomously. Or she could have given it to someone else or another consort had done it. Plus, we don't usually see those kind of high temperature burns from normal corrupted. But then again, I guess in this reality, corrupted aren't really a well-known term, right? But it's even if it's 10 years in the future, it's how would they have gotten rid of the corrupted? What's the story? But I guess that's the point, right? It's another story where the corrupted are gone. Or something like that.
Plus, Jack had a normal, verifiable life history in Elysium. He wasn't someone who just appeared out of nowhere. So you're saying he was just an ordinary person caught in the crossfire? I've been thinking. Maybe Christina and Norman weren't actually killed by whoever's controlling the dividing machines.
Did he propose that hypothesis in a half-joking tone, glancing at Minot for a reaction as she finishes? The fate between her lips, Minot scratches her head in frustration.
That just makes this mess even more complicated. And your evidence? Nothing concrete. I have a much simpler theory. Jack isn't a construct. There's no need for special methods against him. Writing machines alone would be more than enough. It is a possibility.
Minot was about to take another drag of her electrolytic vape when Teddy snatches it from her. She raises the device, tosses the plastic bag, then freezes. She pulls it back, her eyes narrowing as she examines it.
What's this even feel like?
Mischievous grin spreads across Minot's face.
Wanna try it yourself? Never mind. Can't have a minor vaping.
Teddy rolls her eyes, tossing the vape into the bag like it's offended her.
Minor, I've told you you have no talent for jokes.
Clouds drift in the distance, slipping away at a pace too slow for the eye to truly capture. No stares, her gaze unfocused, and exhales a perfect smoke ring. She watches silent as the breeze unravels it into nothing.
Minot, why did you become an inspector?
She hesitates, carefully weighing her response.
Perhaps because this is the only place I have. Sparrows don't migrate. Limited flight ceiling. Can't travel far.
Wait, why does Simon know? Like her name? Or is that the name of like... Is that another way of saying sparrows?
All I want is to protect Elysium. This city.
Years ago, a younger Minot had posed a question to that figure.
Father, why is this city called Elysium?
In Greek mythology, there's said to be a paradise called Elysium, right? Just like we talked about in HSR.
I hope this place can become a similar sanctuary for those who need it.
When that day comes, you'll be able to run freely here, under every sunrise and sunset. You'll be like a bird, flying freely.
Too bad I'm just an unwinged bird.
The word's too soft for Teddy to catch.
What did you say? You know, I've always envied you. You got to choose. Becoming a construct, leaving your family behind, escaping the cage. What's the difference? I just traded one cage for a slightly larger one. And now even Babylonia, that slightly bigger cage, has crumbled to dust.
Stabbing pain pulls to her mind again. Humanity claws its way out of the Great Depression into the Golden Age.
The world government was barely established. Then someone decided to start a global nuclear war. The surface was scorched and the surviving cities went into lockdown.
No, that's not right.
So Eden too became the sanctuary in the sky, with the elites fighting for a spot in the glorious Noah's Ark.
Ah, it is! Someone's created a whole, like, simulation where the corrupted and punishing never happened. No, this is 100% their work. There's no way. Because again, saying a nuclear war started it, come on. But again, I guess that's supposed to make the presence of those riding machines the anomaly, right? Because it's like, why are they here? What even are they? Because I was wondering, why do they not have a concept of the corrupted and punishing here, right? Even if they were to be like, oh, it's been 10 years since then, there's no way the punishing would be gone just like that. I doubt it.
But even the Ark sank in the end. Ironic, isn't it?
Deep down, something is screaming. Face a stark, smileless void.
So go ahead and mock the very idea of cages. People are always trapped by something. You want to fly, then fly. You're a sparrow, after all.
A hearty laugh escapes Minot, sparked by Teddy's words.
You know what? That is such a Teddy thing to say. Not everyone sees the world as darkly as you do. Well, I suppose I could never match your particular brand of sharp-tongued superiority. That's debatable.
A wave of even louder laughter overtakes Minot, leaving her breathless. When it passes, her gaze goes still, the mouth turning away to reveal a perfect unsettling neutrality.
Remember when we first met? You were just this tiny thing tucked away in holographic cyberspace, teaching yourself to code all alone. Stop talking to me like some wise elder. It's gross. Not everyone can break free from their cages.
Minot pulls out another electrolytic vape, her next words lost to a sharp inhale. Without waiting for Teddy's response, she's at the rooftop's edge, turning to face Teddy.
Let's call it a day. I'm not going to sacrifice my nightlife to more work.
Minot tips backward into the void, her body swallowed by the night. Final words and a ghost of vapor are all that remain, looking for a moment around Teddy before dissipating. But then the falling bird soars upward, brought aloft by her drones that carry her into the distance. Teddy remains perfectly still, statue watching the drones, fading light trails
until they are extinguished by the dark. Only then does a hint of sorrow enter her eyes. Can I trust you, Minnow? We can still do a bit more, then we can call it an end for the stream. The truth. Don't trust your memories. At the party with Minnow on the rooftop, Teddy returns to the office. She faces the broken parts on her desk, visual modules from the running machines. Maybe to see what happened? Because some programs strain, running multiple decryption methods at once to restore the video files. Yeah, smart. Don't trust Minnow completely. She needs to know what happened in that alley. The image of Minnow wielding her light blade flickers through Teddy's mind, constantly teasing her thoughts, like a fish that nibbles bait without taking the hook. Why am I seeing this? Did her virus program create a temporary link between our visual receptors? If she did this, what's her endgame? Suddenly, she remembers her own words to Minnow from earlier. There are too many loose ends. Feels like we're missing a layer. Something deeper we haven't even scratched. I'm back. Yo, what's up, Guardian? Something deeper. Teddy inserts the storage chip retrieved from Christina's warehouse, checking a series of blue data interfaces across the room, just like the night before last. Let's see what you've got. Her fingers dance across the keyboard, lines of code materializing in rapid succession. Show me what you're hiding. The expected battle never comes. This unprepared decryption methods prove useless. The system's security dissolves at her touch, according like a current to granted immediate access. Core data used without a fight as readily as her own personal files. And this is... Below the surface lies a labyrinth of heavy encryption. Data that requires a secret key to unlock. Oh yeah, time to hack in. Let's do this. This is what Teddy's best at.
隠し暗号機どうやって解読すれば
Again, I like how we do it like this because we've done this before. Where she has like a digital avatar like hacking through. Oh. Come on. There we go. And go. Come on. Oh no, I messed up. Boom. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put it on. Huh? What? I pressed it.
もしかして
Oh, it was just showing I was failing it. Okay. Like, it was intentional for that. I was wondering. Come on.
クリスティーナのやり方を試してみる
Oh, this. Right. You did this in the Lives 2, right?
どうして彼女がこの解読方法を知っているの
What now?
まずは手がかりを整理しないと
Alright, time to do some investigating. I love these investigation scenes, they're so cool. I always like doing the investigation work. Makes me feel like a real detective. Ooh, okay, we're actually sorting through some clues. I like it. Oh, and I'm gonna have to like connect them, right? Alright, let's enhance these. Reality simulation. Norman questions the reality and is hunted by mechanoids. The Elysium blueprint. The victim suffered from derealization disorder and had collected numerous city blueprints and information. Probably to learn the origin, right? Because it's like, if this place is real, there'd be history, and it could be proven. Multiple clues selectable. The victim had collected numerous blueprints and sensitive data. The victim began questioning it. The dead often disappear. Ooh, okay, I can do something like this. Okay, so that's wrong. Oh, I like this. This is very cool. Damage corrupted. Oh, wait, hold up. I want to see what it says first. Let's actually look at all of them that make choices. The deceased had unusual living habits. During the incident, neighbors heard glass shatter and saw shadows. Investigation at the scene revealed a completely destroyed, corrupted mechanoid, which appears to have been eliminated by the victim. But if it was eliminated by the victim, how could they make the escape? Unless you're saying multiple of them crashed in, but if they did, there wouldn't have been as much of a struggle. Okay, here we go. Death of Norman. Minot killed the young girl Norman. She had penetration wounds and burn marks on her body. Right. What about Christina, though? No, I did not press that. You know that. Here we go. The victim's body had multiple wounds, mostly scratches caused by corrupted. The fatal injury was a puncture wound from behind that pierced the core directly and caused burning damage to the surrounding component. So maybe it's like Minot was there with her. The corrupted were used as a diversion, and then she stabbed her in the back. Maybe that's it. Okay, let's see. Mysterious corpse in the sewers. The victim had few social connections. They recently met a young girl named Norman and arranged to meet, but were killed by corrupted. The victim suffered from derealization disorder and had consulted multiple times with a psychologist named John. Now the informant behind the scenes. The person who reported the case remains unknown. Their methods of concealing their identity are highly sophisticated, suggesting they're deliberately steering police attention toward the case. Maybe the original Teddy? Okay, let's calculate this. Select the clue. Okay, the victim was killed by corrupted. After the victim said corrupted began gathering the sewers, the victim suffered from derealization. Can I select multiple? Oh, I can! Oh. There we go. So that's how I'm supposed to do this. I have to click all the right ones. And so the victim had collected numerous city blueprints, and they began questioning. Yeah, because those would link up. So we're making the clues. Like, we're solidifying what that is. Your number questions reality. Maybe this? Yeah. Like, he was hunted by mechanoids because he was questioning reality. Damage corrupted. During the incident, they heard glass shatter. Carter was found at the scene. Oh. Wait, what? The officer arrived 16 minutes after the call, with Minot arriving shortly after. Maybe? Alright, let's try one at a time. Let's see what happens. Oh, okay, yeah, so if I get that many wrong, it's going to show that. Okay, the victim kept unusual hours. And then this? Wait, what? Really? Okay, sure. I did that already. What the hell? What, did I maybe not tack on one of them?
Hmm? 手がかりは整理できたわね。次は答えを導き出さないと。
Okay, yeah, the questioning, that is why. The victim was attacked by corrupted mechanoids. Despite being injured, they managed to kill one attacker. Okay. And now, death of Norman. Yeah, the corpse. Norman may have been the one who reported the case to the police. Oh, because she would have also had the hacker skills and made contact with both Christina and him before they died. Okay. Norman may be the one who reported the case to the police. Her friend had been killed. She needed to attract police attention without exposing herself. Oh, okay. That's what that was talking about. Death of Norman. Here we go. Norman questioned the reality of the world and frequently consulted with a psychologist. Can I connect anything else? I don't think I can. I'm gonna check to see if I can connect anything. Oh, I can. The death of Christina too? No. What about... Yeah. Both victims questioned reality. Oh, okay. Would this be right too? Yeah. The realization sort of may have been connected. Yeah. There we go. Now we get the case. Yeah, I know. Now I know what we're gonna see here. Yep. Of course. Makes too much sense. I guess it makes sense why she couldn't really cover her tracks with the last kill, right? Because, to be fair, she tried to stall Teddy by slicing that billboard in half, right? But it didn't get her as much time as she would have liked. She probably thought by keeping her together with Moore, she would have focused on protecting him and wouldn't have been able to reach them in time. And then maybe if she had a bit more time, she could have at least seen like the residue from her blade like fade out from the body, or I mean from the corpse after. Maybe that's what she was hoping for. But at the very least, wait until more monsters actually attack the body post-mortem, and then make it unrecognizable and be like, oh yeah, it's just rampaging monsters attacking an ordinary civilian, right? That's probably what that was. Reveal the truth. There can only be one truth. A certain detective once said, after eliminating the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. Yup. Poor Sherlock Holmes. At least I think. I don't know. Morgue. CIB. The harsh white light is blinding, finding everything beneath it into what seems like a two-dimensional plane. Teddy stares at the two corpses bearing her own face. Inappropriately dark joke surfaces. There are 3 people in the room, but only 2 Christina Normans. But no. Under the sterile light, her very words sound sterile. She recalls the information she had deciphered from the deep data not long ago. The decryption program successfully extracted video files from the rioting machine's visual module. The recording played out from the machine's perspective. It moved with rapid darting motion, sweeping past Moore and Teddy before entering an alley. Ahead, 3 riding machines blocked Norman's path, while Minot descended from above behind her. A ring of her drones hovered around them. When the riding machine charged, its blade aimed at Minot's back. She didn't even flinch. Her drone swiveled, targeted, and fired autonomously. The energy beam pierced straight through the mechanical assailant. It collapsed to the ground, its final visual feed locked onto 2 figures in the alley. Suddenly, the 3 machines blocking Norman were destroyed by drones that had slipped behind her unnoticed. Before she could react, several drones forced her back against the wall. She had nowhere to run. Minot, you... The drones flew to Minot's arm, transforming and reassembling into a light blade, extending from her wrist. Silence, imposter. In the next moment, she plunged the blade into Norman's chest. Teddy gasped violently, as if the blade had pierced her own chest. In response, a stabbing pain pulsed through her mind, like a symptom from Norman's viral attack. Beside her lay Christina's deep data interface, revealing a single line of text. Don't trust your memories. For some ease, Teddy decrypted the data using her most familiar key. The fit was perfect, as if she had been its original architect. Oh, we finally get to see the truth? Ah, never mind. The morgue's Frigidaire hangs heavy. Is there a blend of formalin, disinfectant, Volshire lemon-scented cleaner? I am a memory protection program created by Christina Norman. Codename, Teddy. My purpose is to activate when the host's memories are damaged or under attack. My objective is to assist Teddy in recovering her memories. For reasons yet unknown, this program has now required physical form. A program gaining physical form. Isn't the answer obvious? That also explains my frame change. In her vision, the material world peels away, revealing the skeletal truth beneath. All of it is just programs. Just code. Then, from down the corridor, come the familiar footsteps. For each one, she feels a sickening thud in her chest, as if a fist is closing around her heart. A familiar voice reaches her, yet to Teddy, now sounds utterly alien. How much do you know? Enough to be demanding answers from you, Minnow. Why did you kill them? Minnow turns her head away, a subtle shift to shield her expression from Teddy's gaze. What's wrong? Not going to answer? Why can't you just stay in your cage? With the words struck a nerve, Minnow's head whips back toward Teddy. That's not what I... But the next instant, toward the data surges from Teddy's fingertips. It's pointless. Minnow's response catches Teddy off guard as she effortlessly deflects the DDoS flood attack. What? Just sleep. Tomorrow, everything will be back to normal. Fergus ghosts Teddy's vision. Finally, with her consciousness, she reaches for Minnow, grasping at empty air. Behind her, from the stainless steel surface, she touched the dormant program is already infiltrating her systems. After all, everything here is just programs and code. The TV mumbles the news. Moore's mind is elsewhere. His hand groping for the glass at the table sends it tipping. Sam brings Aline to the living room where she finds Moore already mopping up the spilled water. What's wrong? Thinking about a case? Yeah. You need to head to work soon, right? Try not to be late. Moore stares ahead, his expression still distant. Seeing him like this, Aline furrows her brow with concern. Yeah, right. Ever since his talk with the psychologist, strange images have been haunting his mind. And what was your occupation before you came? I was stationed at... Stationing? What? Who was stationed with him? Crow and Collie. Who are they? Aline. Conversation. Before his thoughts can fully form, a knock sounds at the door. Make no more than 5 mistakes. Aw, fuck. Well, that's fair. You know what? Fuck it, that actually makes sense. Damn it. Oh well, whatever. Look, I was just trying to see what exactly it was trying to ask me to do. Prelude. Who are they? Oh, here we go. Are we actually gonna see this? Finally. Oh, I see. So, whatever is trying to help Teddy recover her memories, this must be something that they were working on before the whole Liv thing, right? Probably because of what happened with Liv, right? Because she can't recover her memories. Maybe they created a way so then they could try to restore memories regarding a frame change. And also, if something was to block them from retaining those memories. See, the officer, Nicola held himself with ramrod straightness, his fingers drumming a steady, impatient river on the table. Proud himself on his impeccable military bearing, standard he upheld with self-discipline. But today, a faint line of anger was carved between the brows of the military commander-in-chief. His face seemed an unreadable mask to most, portrayed a subtle simmering fury to anyone who knew him well, such as Hassan. The fury went unanswered. President Babylonian Nicholas' friend Hassan stood him up. Wait, what the hell? Nicholas' rhythmic tapping sees as he slammed his fist on the table, surged to his feet, and marched straight to Hassan's office. What? Wow. Hassan skipping a date with Nicola? That's crazy. He flung the door open and demanded an answer. His voice low with contained anger. I've been waiting in the conference room for full 20 minutes. Have you forgotten the meaning of punctuality? Or perhaps that anger was no longer contained. The commotion snapped Hassan out of his trance. He tore his gaze away from the document he'd been staring at blankly. Ah, my apologies. Has it really been that long? God damn it, you dumbass. We meet you, President? Well, then again, better you than Kurona. So onto the desk, Nicola glanced at the document in Hassan's hand. Hassan passed it to him without hesitation. Nicola gave it a cursory look. He recognized the document he'd already reviewed long ago. This damage assessment report detailed the aftermath of the Gestalt data wall breach, focused primarily on the destruction of the A1 airport terminal. To this day, that shattered petal of Babylonia remains unrestored. Wait, what? Wait, when did this happen? Hold up. Aftermath Gestalt data wall breach. Wait. Was this when it fell the first time when, This was when Luna's attack happened, right? After they had gone the, not the Akasha records, but Huaju, right? Yeah, because, after Luna had gone Huaju from Kowloon, after the Battle of Kowloon, she used that to try to plummet Babylonia to Earth, right? But then that's when we worked together with Watanabe to try to stop it. If I'm remembering correctly. I don't remember. It's been a while. But I'm assuming that's when this happened. Or maybe this was something that happened much more earlier that's like we didn't address it actually in the game, but it's like it's just part of their history. I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of. I don't get it. That crisis is over. Why are you still looking at an old report? In just a few short years, Babylonia has faced multiple attacks that threaten its very foundation. First, the Luna incident, where Huaju infiltrated Gestalt and seized control of most of its processing modules. It completely severed Gestalt's ability to regulate Babylonia's power systems. Right? Oh, I see. They were preparing for if someone tried to do the same thing again. Wow. Okay. Finally. Because I was like, are they trying to pull the same shit again when it happened? And I was like, damn, they actually pulled it off. And almost with ease. No, this is their backup plan. Oh, okay. Good. Again, something still seems to be wrong. Like maybe someone's interfering with what's supposed to happen, or Teddy's supposed to be the main coordinator, but whoever's doing this has like found a way to contain her so that she doesn't enable the security for that kind of situation or something. But okay. That's what this is supposed to center around, and that's how it connects to the situation again where we're plummeting to Earth again. Okay. Good. I'm glad we're covering that, because I was about to say, there was no way we're skipping that immense climax at the end of the story where things were going to shit. There's no way we are not addressing that. But that's how this connects. Great. Okay. Then Ballard, with a 7295 unguided ballistic missiles still aimed directly at us. Right. Yeah, because that was Ballard's trump card, right? His trump card to, like, get rid of Babylonia. And to be fair, it did almost work. If it wasn't for Watanabe, we'd have been fucked. One push of a button from the Forsaken, and we could have been shot down at any moment. And then there's that thing. Showed up from behind Gestalt's data wall. Oh, right. Agent Zero. Yeah. Or, not Agent Zero, but that other life form. What was it again? It wasn't Chaos. It was a different one. The one that tried to attack Luna before in her Luna Oblivion chapter. I don't remember what the name was. We've been walking a tightrope over an abyss this entire time.
Do you know what those politicians and wealthy elites are saying? I don't need you to tell me. Keep the battlefield on Earth, they say. Don't let it disrupt our lives on Babylonia. The sons of bitches. But I mean, to be fair, it's true. Whenever something happens on Earth, at least we have some people fighting there, right? We have Agdalek, we have the Forsakens, we have the ARU, we have Kowloon. Again, they may not be working directly for us, but there's at least a force of opposition they can take for those kinds of situations. But any attack we've had here, we've always had to resolve on Earth. We've never been able to resolve it while up there. So, like, if there's a time when it's like it's completely uncontrollable, where we can't solve it when the target is on Earth, or like where we can't find them in time before something happens on like a countdown, how do we deal with it? I see. That's where this finally comes into the picture. Fools. But our position's improving, isn't it? It's worth an undefiable hope. Caught between a question for Hassan and a statement of fact. We developed new central purification filter technology. The conservation areas on the ground are gradually replacing their tower cores, establishing new safe zones. No, but that's not the point, though. Construct tech is advancing as well. Doesn't the Science Council have a new technology for the mind? The first frame to be equipped with it is Liv's new frame. That will depend on whether Xanthos approves it. Okay. Regarding the agents, Vonnegut has disappeared. Lula isn't showing strong hostile intentions right now. Right. But again, it's like, is Vonnegut completely gone? Or has his will that's being carried on by the legacy of the others gone? Or is it still being carried out by someone else? By any measure, the situation is stable and improving. See, that's what I was talking about. Because it's like, someone's going to have to step up the plate and be the next bad guy. It's never going to end. It's not that simple. Maybe it is. Nicola raised an eyebrow. Since Hassan was holding something back. You'd think there's another crisis coming. No, you're certain of it. No, it is, right? Because, again, all the secrets are starting to come out again, right? Secrets we didn't even know in the original timeline. Like, Dominic having his own institute at FOS College. This research that was going on regarding the mind and the minds at the conservation area. All of that is new secret stuff. A new enemy we didn't face in the other timelines. So it's like, it is. But whether it's going to be that same enemy or someone who's just acting on it, that's the question. And if Babylonia is tackling it on, it's maybe like, this is to get rid of their competition or someone who would stand in their way of obtaining whatever information that Dominic's hiding. Because again, Hassan was kind of worried when he saw like our new construct tech was going to improve, right? He's like, this is where things are about to change. And it's like, he figures like, this is where the real trial for humanity begins. Why? Some members of parliament are growing restless. Kurno again? No, it can't be. Kurno isn't worth this level of concern. Nah, but it's that other group, right? The one who we saw had their like emblems or stuff in the cave. Kurno is a hyena chasing after scraps. You can control them with bait, and once they're full, they're no threat. Handle them correctly, they'll cough up everything they've swallowed, stomach acid included. Sometimes they'll even fight for you. Right? But these ones are different. They're far more dangerous. Who are they? That's the problem. I don't know who they are yet. Right, because that's also the thing we discovered, right? There is some other group out there, but we don't know their name. We don't know their identity. The only thing we have is that they also supposedly were also doing mind research, and that they may be connected to what Dominic was doing at the FOS college with that military institute. You don't know yet. He spoke slowly, giving each word away. Yeah, meaning that it's like, he knows there is someone out there. There is proof of that, just not what. I'm not exactly a prophet here. For everyone's sake, I hope you're not. But you are Hassan, the legendary Hassan the Undefeated. And I mean, to be fair, it's a smart way to go about the situation, right? Because every time we think we solved the case, or every time we think we're getting to a better place, we're not. We're just unraveling more stuff, even bigger problems, and a much greater picture of what the real situation going on Earth is. We keep doing that every single time, but we still never reach the root yet. So it's like, there's bound to be more somewhere, unless we ever find a lead to like the root problem, or whoever really let loose the punishing and stuff. Again, we only know it's they because of Ishmael, but that doesn't definitively give us anything that we can give to humanity to fight back. So until we get to that point, there's gonna be more enemies. It's just that plain and simple. The long-forgotten title from Nicola's lips gave Hassan pause, especially softening with a hint of nostalgia. And that's just an empty title from the past. It's not worth mentioning. There's something else that's been on my mind. It's about our cybersecurity here on Babylonia. It was in Gestalt. So to ask Gestalt wasn't enough, but the thought died as he recalled his dismal performance in recent. Yeah, because again, that's the thing. The other thing is, we've only improved Gestalt a bit because of the key that we got from Dominic/Gestalt. But we haven't fully fixed it yet. There's still some things from Gestalt we can't do. Gestalt still can't perform at 100% accuracy or efficiency, meaning there is something holding us back. And again, as to when we'll ever be able to obtain these keys, we'll never know. But again, it's gonna be essential for us to be able to finally get rid of the punishing. I believe the digital domain will become a critical battlefield in the future. Yeah, because it's like they say, information is key in a battlefield. It can turn the tides. Especially at a time like this where we have consort technology, CPFs, conservation areas, mechanoids, the Phantom Tracer, and the Omega weapons and stuff. Tech is starting to become a real thing. So that's why Teddy's new frame got pushed through so fast. Ah, there we go. That's it. That explains why Teddy's the main one here. Because again, it's like, this is going to deal with that aspect. And I like it. Because again, we're going through how every part of humanity will be tested. When it comes to psychologically, mentally, physically, through politics, through communication, through society. All that's getting covered. It's the same, like, or it's kind of like following the same phase, like if you were to go to war, right? How it would affect the propaganda, art, the spread of news and rumors, the tech, resources for not only the soldiers to keep on fighting, but for civilians to survive while the war is going on. All that kind of stuff. And that's what I love about this. They're being so realistic, at least on the aspects of like how war has many different kinds of battlefields, and they're not all just the same. It's not just all physical. It's not just only the guns and the people holding them. It goes even beyond that, which is realistic. Just take it in a completely different setting. Well, she is quite wealthy herself. But yes, that is the reason. From what I hear, her new frame should be almost ready. About 80% complete. I'll be assigning her a mission after that. What kind of mission? She'll be looking for facilities with sufficient computing power. Do you remember what came before Project Gestalt? If I'm remembering right, was it the Quantum Network and Artificial Intelligence Engineering? Close enough. The full name is Quantum Neural Synapse and Advanced AI Matrix. It was a supercomputer and AI project led by the Science Council in collaboration with universities and research institutes worldwide. In Gestalt, it needs two key things to be what it is. Oh, yes, finally! Another one of the origins of Gestalt. Because that was the point, right? Because before, we talked about an AI that would be needed for Gestalt later, right? And that's what led to the Emperor. Because he was one of those experiments that was supposed to be like a benefit for society later on, but then because they disposed of the Emperor, even though he finally obtained self-awareness, that's when he ended up becoming a bane to human existence. Like a tool of humanity becoming their own enemy. The irony of it. And now this. So cool, man. First, it has to be a quantum supercomputer. Yup. Because, I mean, those are the strongest. Second, it needs to have advanced artificial intelligence. Yeah, there we go. So this is the other part. The artificial intelligence, that was the Emperor. He had another name, but I don't remember what it was. I think it was a pretty normal name, but I just can't for the life of me remember what it was. But anyway, you guys remember from that long ago. It was during the this was from the second Cao Long arc, right? Thinking the Chu Shukra arc, because that's when the second battle for Cao Long was happening. Or I guess defending Cao Long at that time. Yeah, okay. What's this got to do with Teddy's mission? I want her to find me a quantum supercomputer that doesn't have the AI part. You don't trust Gestalt? I never said that. Your actions suggest otherwise. There's your assumption. Hey, I mean, it's better to have a backup plan, you know? Because what happens if Gestalt fails us one day, right? We need a backup plan. Because Gestalt's not invincible. It's been breached many times. And it was almost corrupted the first time. If it wasn't for my boy Watanabe and crew. Nicola, that's how I resigned sigh. Why not at least wait until her frame is ready and switched? No need to wait. This mission is exactly what she'll need. Why would you need a quantum supercomputer without an AI? It's just a precaution. No, he knows too, right? Because AI can become our enemy. We've already had that happen before. The Emperor being a prime example. Hassan pushed himself up from his seat and moved to the window, his eyes fixed on the profound darkness of space. What would you say is the real foundation, or the cornerstone, of everything we built here? Strength. Nico answered without a moment's hesitation. Strength, huh? Of course you'd say that. What's your answer then? Human ingenuity? Hassan offered no answer. Instead, his gaze remains fixed in the distance. A shimmer of brilliant stars pierced the infinite darkness. What are you really up to? But there, okay, finally. Now I'm understanding how Teddy's new frame comes into the picture in the main story. Okay, great. See, this is why I'm glad I did this a bit more, because that question would have nagged at me the whole time until I come back to this. So I'm glad I actually tackle this now. Again, I'm not going to solve all this in one stream, but at least I have some of the answers I've been looking for. Because yeah, it was just driving me crazy, because don't get me wrong, this is an interesting kind of mystery too. But it's like, I'm like, how the fuck does this connect to the story? But it's like, that's the point. Alright, we'll do this last one, then I think we could call it a night. Amid the swirling shards in the sky, 1,000 roses shimmer in the night. Not in rose. The cradle rocks above its abyss, and common sense tells us that our existence is but a brief crack of light between two eternities of darkness. Speak, memory. Wandering through the darkness, she was pulled into a dream. There, forever was the dominant theme for what had been called family. It all began with the madness known as Project Herald. Ah, right, Project Herald, yes. Christina, what's buried there is the seed of civilization. Your father went on a great mission. Right. It's the mission her father went on, but never came back, and then he tried to continue in the shadows. You must follow his path, trace his footsteps, bring back his legacy. Right! Yes, that's what Project Herald was. It was to bring back Dominic's legacy. Because everyone was on the hunt for it. People were thinking this could change everything. And Norman's mining core wasn't doing too hot. But he was hoping with this he would have a lot more control. Only Dominic lead humanity back to Earth. Yeah, because it was also supposed to be like
the second coming of Dominic, because hopefully if they could find something, anything about Dominic, they could try to recreate him or something. Christina Norman had never seen Dominic in person. Whenever Charles spoke to her about such things, a single question would always linger in her mind. What kind of man was Dominic? According to the books, he was the founder and chief technician of the Science Council, the pioneer of Gestalt design theory, the proposer of cold fusion theory and its practical application, and the creator of the first strong AI machine. Leveraging cold fusion, he had dragged humanity out of the Great Depression, facilitated the rise of the world government, and ushered in the Golden Age. They called Dominic a hero. Oh, just another hero. A rabbit at very first. But the hero died. He vanished without a trace inside Reactor 1. Right, because again, that's also kind of like why people were hunting for his legacy, right? Because maybe it would tell them the whereabouts of where Dominic is, or what happened to him, or did he have a backup plan, or a secret weapon? Because again, no one knows what happened to Dominic. None of us do, and we're still trying to figure that answer out. I mean, we know at least a bit more because of Vonnegut's memory, but not the entirety of the Dominic story. Legacy of the Dead became a trophy to be fought over. The fallen hero demanded a successor. Yep. And so Dominic's successor was born out of necessity. Successor to Dominic, yet property of Norman Monaco. Yeah. What a complete joke. Dominic wasn't even a Norman. What are you talking about? Nothing. Keep such thoughts to yourself, at least within these walls. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. A sigh escaped Edward in the lavish living room. A quiet lament for the unfair hand fate had dealt his daughter. I know that you... After long hesitation, the rest of his sentence died on his... Father, are they also sending you to the surface for Project Herald? Yes, they are. When I come back, you'll be free. You could be anyone you want to be. But none of the previous Heralds ever came back. Right. I'll come back. I promise you, my little Teddy. With those words, Edward departed, drawn away by the urgent calls from beyond the door. Yeah, we know how that ended. He never came back. The Norman family held a symbolic funeral for Edward. It didn't rain that day. Babylonia's weather cycle rarely allocated precipitation. The world certainly did not orchestrate convenient rainfall for every moment of grief. So when tears streaked Christina's face, she had no rainfall to blame them on. She believed herself too composed to cry. She was convinced, in fact, that she had not shed a single tear. She simply stared, blank and unseeing, at the gravestone, purely symbolic marker that didn't even hold her father's personal effects. It was only when Leonardo, standing beside her, gently pointed it out, she realized her vision had blurred. Her eyes welling with a grief she had refused to acknowledge. Christina turned to look at her brother. She had expected to find him in tears, but Leonardo was dried. He only revealed a sorrowful gaze, his vacant eyes containing nothing but grief. Nothing but grief. Across the grounds, Christina and Leonardo catch a distant glimpse of Victoria. The younger sister stood beside Charles Norman. It was too far away for her expression to be clear. After a brief moment of eye contact, Victoria and Charles departed for the funeral. While ensued, the other mourners gradually dispersed. In the quiet that settled in their wake, Christina overheard the whispered conversation of the nearby guests. I always said Edward lacked the nerve for a true legacy. Seems I was right. Did you hear? One of the Norman cousins, Oakley, I believe her name was. She simply couldn't stomach Project Herald. Had a terrible fight with her family and fled Babylonia altogether. Oh, yes, Oakley. Yes, we talked about that. That was another one of the stories. Right, that was a... What was it? Oh, yes. Yes. This was a... Damn it, what's his name? This is when we were doing a... Whose story was it from the Cerberus Squad? The guy with the mechanical arm. Why Why did I forget his name now? Fuck. But anyway, yeah. With him, we learned that in like that western area with like the cowboy's son, his mother had passed away, and she was a member of the Norman family, and she ran away because she couldn't deal with all the terrible things that were going on with the Norman family. So she married with the kid's father, with the wheat fields and stuff. Yes. There we go. That's what it was about. Finally bringing that up again, and that was a floating record too. So again, see, it pays to pay attention to the floating records too. They connect to the main story. They're canon. Can't say I blame her. Project Herald. Absolute madness. The Normans aren't forging a legacy. They're digging their own grave. Won't strip their way until only Christina and Leonardo remain by the graveside. Aren't you going to leave? I'm going to shut down Project Herald. I won't let any more lives be thrown away for nothing. Yeah, because it's like, by this point, this project was tearing the family apart. It was all only Charles Norman, and nothing else mattered. It won't be easy, but I swear, I'll do everything I can. C remained silent, having no desire to respond. Yeah, because he basically cut off his own emotions, his own happiness, to at least try to save his sisters. That's what meant the most to him. Soon only the young girl was left at the funeral. Standing alone, she suddenly felt as though she was wandering through an endless darkness. Wandering through the darkness, she was pulled into a dream. She dreamed at the moment of her birth. From behind a glass, the black-haired director of the third dark room watched, a lot of anxiety tightening in his chest. On the other side, the woman at the operating table arrived, agonizing screams continuing unabated despite the frantic efforts of the doctors circling her. A sudden tension gripped the operating room. The man watched as the medic's movement shifted into urgent and purposeful bursts. Uterine anatomy. Administer oxytocin. Oxytocin ineffective. Prepare for uterine packing. Mr. Yan, I'm sorry. We did everything we could. Bewilderment dawned in the man's eyes. Everything you could? What do you mean? There's a little time left. You should go in now. And a compassion tinged the doctor's voice. Yan Zhen entered the operating room. His gaze immediately found his wife's pale, exhausted face. Claire. She's barely clinging to life. Zhen, let me see her. At Yan Zhen's signal, the doctor brought their newborn daughter close. His eyes locked onto the baby, and she struggled to lift a hand, strength abandoning her. Seeing this, Yang Zhen gently cupped his wife's hands and guided it to their daughter's cheek. Her eyes. They're just like yours, my little Mano. I show you.
The light in her eyes faded away.
Why? Why did she bleed out like that?
Edward asked in the starlight's corridor, his voice thick with bewilderment. The moment the words left his mouth, he recognized their futility.
How's my wife now?
Tried again, only to realize he asked another futile question.
I'm sorry. We were only able to save the baby.
Edward's gaze drifted back to where Christina and Leonardo waited. A wave of helplessness washed over him. How could he possibly tell his children?
There's something else you should know. It's about the baby's condition. What's wrong with her? It's a very rare condition called severe combined immunodeficiency. SCID. But that's treatable, isn't it? A bone marrow transplant is all we need.
The doctor looked at the director in the third dark room. A pang of cruelty shut through him at the thought of what he had to say.
Normally, yes. But her variant is a rare mutation. The standard curative protocols, they're ineffective. Her T cells and B cells are non-functional. It's a complete systematic failure. She has no adaptive immune system. No defense against any pathogen, bacterial, viral, fungal. So, you're telling me her entire life will be spent in a sterile room?
The doctor turned his face away, every ounce of his focus bent on forming a reply.
Yes.
What are you studying today?
I'm reading elementary particle physics.
And you can comprehend the material.
I'm managing.
Managing is not the standard for Dominic's successor. You must comprehend it completely. This is the only way.
This is the only way. I'm so sorry, Manu.
Inside the sterile room, the air filtration system hummed its ceaseless faint hymn. The 4-year-old Minot fought to keep the sadness from her face. Fortunately, she was gifted with a mind far beyond her years. It allowed her to understand the guilt in the man's words.
It's all right. I understand.
She pressed her tiny hand against the glass, seeing at the small, delicate palm Yanjin crumble and collapse to his knees. With trembling hands, he placed his own palm against the partition, desperate to feel the warmth from Minot's hand. But all that met his skin was the cold, unyielding glass.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. What happened to Mother wasn't your fault?
Christina offered soft comforts to the weeping man before her. Fortunately, she was gifted with a mind far beyond her years. She understood the grim statistics of childbirth all too well, so she chose to lock her grief away. It was as if her soul had risen above her body, looking down the tableau of sorrow. Her anguished father, her mourning brother, and her grandfather with eyes squeezed shut. From that cold vantage point, a single ill-timed thought formed. Years from now, she could completely forget what it felt like to be held in her mother's arms.
What does an embrace feel like?
What did you say? She then pointed out a book in her hand by canvas and beside her line.
But there are no limits of to loving. And what does it matter to me if I hold things badly if I can embrace everything? Dad, what does an embrace feel like?
Yanjin was stunned, at a loss for words.
An embrace feels like eternity. It's like, for that one moment, nothing else exists or will ever end. Was it like that when you held Mom in your arms?
Gentle smile touched Yanjin's lips, his eyes brimming with tender longing.
Yes, exactly like that. I want to embrace you too, Dad. Let's... Is it not allowed?
Yes, of course you can. Half an hour later, Yanjin consciously entered the sterile room. Having undergone 3 separate sterilization procedures,
He was sheathed in a transparent isolation suit. He moved in with gentle, deliberate care, before causing even the slightest infection in Minot's fragile state. When he offered an awkward embrace, she melted into it, allowing herself to believe for just a moment that everything could indeed become eternal. Nothing is eternal. And becoming a construct is the answer? You think that's eternal? Sometimes, talking to you is exhausting. Wow, straight to the IC reception. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. It's hard to compete with the family prodigy. Playful, exaggerated grin spread across Leonardo's face. For just a moment, he caused Christina's cold, expressionless stare from across the room. Sabina sobered instantly. I'm not here to stop you. I suppose you've already run the Tantalum 192 compatibility test. It's just... Can't you just wait a little longer? You're still so young. Wait until when? Wait for a cure that doesn't exist? Yojin rose angrily, his leg buckled beneath him, caught himself, his hand flying to his thigh in a gesture of pure frustration. I'm sorry, Dad. I just want to know what the outside is like. The world outside isn't what you imagine, Minot. It hasn't been for years. That's just the punishing virus. Let me start from the beginning. I'll tell you what the punishing virus is first. This is our reality now. The world government had retreated to Babylonia, hiding behind its walls. Then, what about us? How long can this darkroom base last? Oh, I see. One was in Babylonia, one was on Earth. Not a panic crept into Minot's voice. Never once did she imagine the world she dreamed of seeing could be considered destroyed. At our current rate, 4 years. It's a problem I can solve. I'll find a way. Don't worry. I still have some influence with the world government. You want to see the outside? You can start by exploring it through the network. How does that sound? I'm allowed? Yes, but carefully. Anonymously is safest. I could teach you the fundamentals. Your father has a master's in computer science, you know? I learned all this during my doctoral studies, and I was the head of Project Connection. Not a bad teacher to have. Alright, teach me. You want to learn programming. Why? Just curious about it. Does the old man know? He doesn't need to know everything. Fine. Well, as it happens, I have something for you. It's a virtual reality rig. You can use it to explore coding environments. I'll bring it over later. Boring. A little gratitude wouldn't kill you. I'm trying to help. How's Project Herald coming along? The same. Not a single successful candidate in any batch. I heard that, despite his hesitation, he forced himself to speak up. Father's name might be on the shortlist for the next batch. I did it, Dad. I hacked the registry. You're on the list for the next transport to Babylonia. Just like that? He could only stare, utterly stunned. He was no stranger to his daughter's genius. She had surpassed his own abilities in just 2 years. Yet the reality of her successfully hacking Babylonia's registry system was beyond anything he'd ever conceived. I had a lucky break. Their data isn't a live link to that Gestalt system. They only do badge updates during scheduled syncs. You did well. Dad, when will you come back? Soon, I hope. Or it could be a very long time. When I come back, you'll be free. You could be anyone you want to be. Why didn't you come back? Seeing us out on a boundless plain, gaze fixed on the artificial sun in the distance. Words were a soft murmur meant for no one but herself. As Dominic's successor, she was forbidden from showing any weakness. Here in the emptiness of virtual space was the only place she could retreat to soothe her grief. Her voice suddenly came from behind. Who's there? Christina whirled around, started to see a purple-haired woman curiously appraising her virtual space. Teddy? What a weird idea. It's not weird at all. Fine, you win. It's not that bad. Who are you? Why are you here? Just call me the Unwinged. I'm just browsing the network. What about you? What's a brand like you doing crying in here? I wasn't crying. Whatever you say. That was the first time they met. The encounter filled with tension. Three layers of firewalls. Huh. A bit basic. Oh. That is trespassing teeth. Too bad it only caught my zombie. Effortless ease, the Unwinged bypassed Teddy's defense protocols and entered the virtual space again. Teddy, however, didn't so much as turn around, continuing to sunbathe as if she were alone. A beach this time, huh? Definitely an upgrade from the snowfields. Shut up, gloomy woman. The Unwinged pressed her lips. Don't give me strange nicknames, you snippy little brat. My name is Manu. Christina. I brought you a rose. I can generate roses too, you know. Teddy raised a single hand and the data streams coalesced in her palm, slowly weaving themselves into the form of a rose. Not like this. Ever heard of holographic imaging technology? Like mimicking Teddy's gesture, she raised her right hand. Data streams that appeared in her palm were vastly more numerous and complex. At the center of this digital storm, a glass-like card solidified into existence. It has a special property. A simple version? The stored image has true volume. Change your angle and you see a different side. The rose inside the glass card appeared incredibly real. With a slight rotation of her wrist, hidden petals came into Teddy's view. And besides, the glass card shattered. Every piece still holds the whole picture. Amid the swirling shards in the sky, 1,000 roses shimmered in the light. I'm back. Did I have enough firewall to greet me this time? What's the point? You just tear it down anyway. Don't be like that. It's good practice for you. As the years passed in a blur of shared experiences, the relationship deepened. What had begun in wary hostility gradually became a sanctuary of shared secrets. For the first time ever in her life, Teddy found herself with a real friend. I'll take the cosmic modification surgery tomorrow. Doesn't that hurt like hell? No. You really going through with it? I wanted to do it years ago, right after my father died. Oh, right around when we first met. Yeah, Leonardo talked me out of it back then. You actually listened to him? I don't know how he did it, but he actually managed to make the Norman Mining Corps scrap her Project Herald. I'll admit it was impressive. I've been gathering intel on the Corps, blackmail material for the future. It might take a while though. So you can break free from them? Maybe. But I suppose that doesn't really matter. Just trading a small cage for a bigger one. There's nowhere to truly escape to. It's still better than only knowing one cage. At least, you'd be able to spread your wings. The unspoken meaning behind her words later with Teddy. And what about you, Miss Doom and Gloom? Me? What cage are you trapped in? Who knows? Maybe I'm stuck on the moon or something. Frustrated by the Unwinged's constant evasiveness, Teddy abandoned subtlety and demanded a straight answer. When the time comes, I'll leave Babylonia and find you. On the surface. I never said I was on the surface. We've known each other for years. I'm not an idiot. But no, let's set a time and place to meet in person. We'll talk about that later. Yarn Jin returned to the third dark room. He was confined to a wheelchair, his hair having turned white, while his piercing purple eyes remained unchanged. He brought with him advanced cosmic modification technology. But no, do you have any requests for your frame? In the darkness, her mind conjured a pink-haired girl from the virtual space. Could you give me a pair of wings? even if they're broken. After the modification, would she finally be able to go see her? When they met again in the virtual space, they took a moment to study each other's frames. So, you became a construct too? It's just more convenient this way. I left the Norman Mining Corps. That bastard Leonardo. He lied to me. I'm crawling back to claim his inheritance. I've already spoken with the engineering force. Heading to the surface on a mission with them. A trial run, basically. Doesn't matter. I'll ditch them when it's over and meet you here. They shared the time and location with the Unwinged. Their words were met only with the Unwinged's blank stare into the distance. Hey, did you get all that? Of course. Then what's with the 1,000 like you stare? It's just hard to believe that crying child from all those years ago has grown up. Stop talking to me like some wise elder. It's gross. Minot stared at the door of the third dark room, drawing a nervous breath. Then she stepped outside. I can smell grass. It's different from the simulations in virtual space. For over 20 years since the moment of her birth, she had been waiting. Now she was finally taking her first true step into the world. What kind of world is this going to be? Come, see with your own eyes, feel with your own hands. Little bird, you're free. Spread those broken wings and fly. A swarm of drones attached to her body unleashed brilliant jets of flame, lifting her from the ground. Nose soared skyward, hair whipping wild in the wind as she felt it rush across her bionic skin. A smile bloomed across her face. She leaned forward, adjusting the thrust of her drone wings as she danced through the air. Then she saw with her own eyes. Blood and fire, ruins and wreckage. Crimson virus spread across the land. Something was crumbling. What kind of world is this? I had already fallen when Minot returned to the third dark room. Brushing past the researcher's greeting, she headed to the sterile room that had been her home for over 20 years. Something was different. Something had changed. After a long hazy moment, she realized what it was. Oh, it's the air conditioning system. The noise is gone. Of course, it was silent now that she was no longer lived there. The noise that had plagued her for 2 decades, the sound that had become a part of her, simply vanished. This world out here, is it really a good place for her? She wondered if she should go meet Teddy after all. Damn, this took a while. The meantime was fast approaching, yet Minot remained undecided on how to face Teddy. Might as well meet her first, I guess. Dread weighing on her every step, she forced herself toward the meeting point. Suddenly a terminal chirped. Dad? It was Teddy's first time on the surface. She stared, a tumult of feelings stirring within her. With the fresh footprints she had pressed into the soil, a lone disturbance amidst the wild, unburdened weeds. I can smell soil. It's different from the simulations in virtual space. Someone nearby noticed it. So you're the newbie. First time on the surface. Name's Karenina. Just stick with me on this one and you'll be fine. Just as she had once waited in vain for her father, Teddy now waited for the unwinged who never came. She wanders in darkness. The cold tide of it churns around her, ever with the undertow of memories. Pages from the past turn one by one, but she refuses to look. Just grows tighter into herself, letting the void dissolve her. What a complete joke. The cradle rocks above an abyss. Common sense tells us their existence but a brief crack of light between 2 eternities of darkness. Speak memory. Alright, let's try to do this quickly.
仕事仕事。どうして人は働かなきゃいけないのかしら。
Eh, boy, now what? Oh, it's not letting me do it. Alright, I'm just gonna skip talking to him. Because it's not obligatory that I have to do it. So I might as well just move on.
仕事仕事。どうして人は働かなきゃいけないのかしら。
Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh, I'm stuck.
そろそろ仕事の時間ね。
God damn it. Okay, I see what's going on.
ここにこんなのあったかしら。どこかが間違ってる気がする。
Oh, but now I'm in a new frame. I see, I see. Because I was like, wait, is anything gonna actually change? Here we go.
こなんだかおかしい。もうこの文字が見える？
何を言ってるの？ちゃんと休めてないんじゃない？
先に行くわ。新規視覚ジャミング。侵入成功。デジタル空間。リンク化不可。ウイス視覚ジャミング。隙だらけね。偽りを破壊する。 ムーア、ここなんだか変よ。
Yo, what the heck? What's going on? It's supposed to be working. Oh, let's press space? Okay, sure. Yeah, in a second. Alright, fine. I'll actually press space. What? Ah, great. What now? It's not doing anything. I'm gonna have to exit out of the game, aren't I? Son of a bitch. I don't get it. I'm pressing it. Okay, whatever. I think this is a good place to end. It's not doing anything for me, so I don't know why it's not, but it's not. But yeah. Anyway, I think this is a good place to end the stream. I'll try to see if I can continue with it on my own through my phone, or again on PC later. And if it doesn't work, then I'll probably just have to skip through it on my phone, then give you guys the rundown of what happens after that. But okay, so now we know the relationship between the two as well, but it's like, why is Minot going against us? Is she actually a member of the Church of Machina too? Maybe, but again, it's like, why would she go against us like this, right? Maybe she just has her own agenda and both the means align with each other? I don't know. But yeah, very interesting. And again, now at least we're finally understanding how this ties into the current situation that Babylonia faces, you know, because that was really like getting a bit on my nerves, but at least now we actually see it for what it is. But yeah, pretty cool. Okay, what the hell is this? Christmas Bliss, okay. Don't know what this is, but... Oh, okay. Something like this, okay. Yeah, like I said, I'll just do that on my own time. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy the stream for tonight. Shout out to Guardian Soulblade for showing up again. Always great seeing you. Like I said, I probably won't stream the next 2 days, because I mean Christmas Eve and Christmas. If I can, though, I'll probably do more Duet Night Abyss, but I'll do the main story. If not, then I'll probably stream Wuthering Waves on Friday, and like I said, Trails Beyond the Horizon demo on Saturday, and then maybe we can get back to this either Sunday or Monday. I don't know. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy the stream for tonight. If you guys did and you're not already following the channel, please make sure to leave a follow. Much appreciated. Check my YouTube channel where I post all the videos, subscribe as well. Join Discord, you guys already. Links to all those on the channel. But this has been Santos Vice. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night and a Merry Christmas, and I'll see you guys next time. We're out.
指揮官、育てていた果物が実りました。たくさん取ってきたので、よければ。え、顔に土が？収穫に夢中で気づきませんでした。取れましたか、指揮官？